The post-game show is brought to you by Great Clips. Great haircuts every time, everywhere. Throughout our coverage of the boys high school hockey tournament, Lou Nanny has been talking to some of the legendary coaches of the game. Today we feature some of their most memorable games.
When you look at 60 years of playing in this tournament, there have been, every year it seems there's an outstanding game that people just can't believe how well it's played and how it goes. Now, when you go back over 60 years, and Louis, you come close to the 60 years, more so than anybody with you and Willard. If you had to pick one game that stands out in your mind, what would it be?
I'd have to say, Louis, that my first team with Krupe, Hughes, and Shattuck, after winning the state championship the year before, that first game, to me, is special because the adrenaline, the chemistry, and the fact that we had won it the year before, to me, is so special. And that line then went on to stay intact and play for John Mariucci. I'm so proud of all these young men that I've had an opportunity to coach, but because they all went on to do well in their adult life and their careers. And again, those high school years for these young men, they all, to the person, of all the success they've enjoyed in amateur hockey, they to the person playing on a state tournament team was the special thing in their life.
Terry, how about you? You've seen a lot of state tournament games besides being involved coaching so many teams. Was there any game that really stands out in your mind, whether it's your team or another team?
Well, I can remember I think it was Southwest in Edina. Wasn't it, Willard? It was an overtime game.
70.
In 70. Well, that was a great hockey game to watch. It was just back and forth and great, just great play. It was fun to watch. And I think Dougie Long's night when he had all those saves, what a deal that was. That was just exciting to watch. You know, you turn the TV on, you're watching, and somebody says, geez, he's got 46 saves after 2 periods, or whatever. I mean, it was just phenomenal. But for me, the game that stands out is a game that we lost in the finals. We lost in 1980 to a great Grand Rapids team, and it was a 2-1 game. And Grand Rapids had a great goaltender by the name of John Casey. And I think in that game he had 34 saves, I believe. And I think we had 4 breakaways during the game, and he stopped every one of us. And he was great at coming out of the net, you know, and challenging shooters. And when a guy got a breakaway, you can almost bet that he was going to come out of the net and, you know, poke check the puck away. And he did it 4 times. You think our guys would have got smart and figured it out. But that game stands out for me because we had such a great group of guys that year. And to lose in the finals, it was only a loss all season. It was a 2-1 game. Was hard yet. But even though we lost the game, I think our guys left everything on the ice, and they were really proud of what they accomplished.
Tom Osiki, how about you?
Well, you know, in a more recent vintage, I remember the Apple Valley Duluth East game that went forever. And I just, you know, I don't know I can think about anything else. That one is incredible as a game overall. And not just because it went so long, but there were so many great scoring opportunities. Yeah. And you had the goal scorers that were up and down and all over the place, and great goaltending by Goring and Apple Valley. I mean, it was just, that was an incredible game. That one really stands out.
Tom Satterwell?
I agree with Tom. That probably, I mean, my son and I stayed in our seats till it was over. But three that real quick that I think of is when we played 81, Paul Guest scored the goal in overtime to beat Grand Rapids, and then in 89, Doug Zamolik from John Marshall in the finals makes a shot on goal, and our goalie makes just a great save and puts it on the ice, moves it up the ice. Tucker gets the overtime goal to win it against JM. But then the one that I liked the most was because it was the person who scored it was probably in 92 against Cloquet, because there again that was a wide open game, 5-4. But Nick Checo, Mr. Hockey, came through for us with 30 seconds left to tie the game to put it into overtime, and that was just a great effort on his part.
Willard, what game stands out in your mind?
Well, I have some bad dreams about that Southwest game. Dave Peterson, of course, was a great coach at Southwest, and we had many, many great games against each other over the years. And I remember Brad Shelstead was the goaltender for Southwest, who went on with the U and played well there. Bobby Krieger was one of our top forwards. He had a breakaway, if you remember the game, and I think it was in the last 10 seconds. And if you want a player to have the puck in that situation, it would be Bobby. And he came down full blast, 10 seconds to go, score was 0-0. And Shelstead did the deck, and Bobby hit him right in the top of the top pad. And the puck came back out towards the blue line, and Bruce Carlson, who also was one of our better players and also played at the U later on, picked up the rebound, and with about 5 seconds to go, he shot, and it went over the top bar. And the game went to overtime, and we lost. But it was a game that I'll never forget. We just had a great team that year that just didn't quite make it, and mostly a senior team. The following year, we only came back with 3 players, and we won it. And who would think that we'd win it with that team? And the year before, we had like one of the Jefferson's team. I think we had about 8 Division I players off that team that lost to Southwest. And next year, we came back with 3 returning players and beat Roseau, I think, 1-0 in the finals. So you never know.
Fans entering the XL Energy Center to watch the Panthers of Rochester Century and the Moorhead Spuds. Their game is just minutes away. We'll be back in a moment on 45.
Channel 45 congratulates this year's Minnesota State High School League Excel Award winners. Christopher Keel is an A student who has been a class officer throughout his high school career. He's also an accomplished athlete and local volunteer. Jonna Moss is involved in multiple sport and music programs. She's also actively involved in church programs and National Honor Society. Andy Dawkins is an award-winning student and athlete. He is also involved in local choir, church, and drama groups. Kirsten Houcom is highly involved with community volunteerism efforts. She's also an award-winning athlete and is active in her church. Jason Ulbrich is involved in many activities at school. Outside of school, he works with the Boy Scouts, and he recently led a construction project at church. Andrew Maliver is an accomplished student athlete with several awards. He's also on the student council and participates in many school activities. Joseph Foggett is heavily involved in athletics, music, and academics. He also gives back to the community, coaching local sports teams. Congratulations to this year's Minnesota State High School League Excel Award winners.
Look who's getting friendly. Get a clue. See why millions of fans are catching Veronica Mars fever.
Where you off to, Superfly? I'm gonna nail that fucker.
Entertainment Weekly calls it one of the 5 hot TV shows worth watching.
Most girls my age are searching for love, searching for the right friends, searching for themselves. My search? It's a little different. I'm searching for cheating husbands, lost love, scam artists, and the person who murdered my best friend. I'm Veronica Mars. My dad's a private investigator, and sometimes I help him out.
Does your dad still think that Lily's father did this? What's the matter with you people, huh?
Kane's got something on the side, doesn't he?
He did it again.
I don't care.
You got pictures?
I did get pictures of license plates. I figured you could run them.
Stay away from him. In a town loaded with secrets.
Just tell me.
Veronica? No. Scandals.
What are we seeing here, Sheriff?
And suspects. There's a lot to hide.
All right, lady, let's see ya.
But this town has no idea who they're dealing with.
Veronica Mars.
Your dad's out tracking down bail jumpers half the time, and yet
Somehow, all the cases that come in here still get handled.
how is that?
We're efficient.
You should hear what people say about you.
No matter how tough things get.
What do you say to a little hooch, huh? What's the matter? Aren't you your mother's daughter? Leave alone.
She'll fight back.
Well, what's this, Logan?
Oh, man, Logan's busted. Yo, listen, I know it was you.
Because every girl's gotta have a hobby.
You're a dead man walking.
Leave him alone.
The only time I care what a woman has to say is when she's riding my big old hog.
If it's as big as you say, I'll be your girlfriend. We could go to prom together.
Veronica Mars is the new drama USA Today puts on the best of the best list. It's smart, intriguing, with hip sophistication.
Haven't you heard? I've got friends in low places.
TV Guide says it has cult favorite written all over it.
I thought you might be interested in having the real criminal stand trial.
And Kristen Bell is mesmerizing.
I've got too many questions swirling around in my head. These questions need answers. That's what I do.
Get a clue. Discover Veronica Mars.
You don't want to miss it. I'm going to nail him to the wall.
Because having a dad who's a detective is cool, but cracking your own cases is even cooler.
Mystery solved.
Veronica Mars.
There's a voice deep inside you, saying yes, yes you can, and I know you hear it now. Yeah, yes you can. Yeah.
Here's to every player and coach on every team. Shields is right there with you.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Marvin Windows and Doors, made for you, and RDO, customer-focused, quality-driven. And Acme.
Thank you for watching KCPM Channel 27, Grand Forks.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications, Get Hooked, and Home Furniture. There's no place like home. And by A1 Automotive. Your satisfaction is our success. Don't miss all the action right here on KCPM, your Central Plains media station.
This is my land, and this is my Kubota Grand L.
Notice how he introduces the tractor first.
This is my wife, Kathy.
He spends a lot of time with his Kubota. Jerry!
This field used to be filled with rocks and brush. Well, we took care of that.
I told him we need to spend more time together. So, I got my own Kubota.
Reliable, versatile, easy to operate. Kubota. Everything you value.
We make shopping easy. Now through Tuesday, imported Chilean red or green seedless grapes, 88 cents a pound. And 6-count mega, 12-count double, or 24-count Charmin bath tissue, 2 for $9.98. No coupons, no cards, and great prices every day. We make shopping easy for embarkers. We make shopping easy for embarkers.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Cable One. Watch us make you smile. And SmartWire Electrical Contractors. When better training, experience, and availability matter, think SmartWire. And by Shields. Right there with you. Don't miss all the tournament action right here on KCPM.
The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show returns to the Fargo Dome. Presented by the Lake Agency Kiwanis Club. March 3rd through 6th. See the all-new 2005 boats, dogs, RVs, campers, and more. Hundreds of resorts on hand so you can plan your next vacation right at the show. Daily seminars including special kids fishing clinics, plus great cats of the world, great American duck races, live trout pond, and more. The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show. March 3rd through 6th. At the Fargo Dome.
Everything you value in a tractor is now available in a utility vehicle. Introducing the all-new Kubota RTV, the utility vehicle engineered like a tractor. With its hydrostatic transmission, power steering, wet disc brakes, and four-wheel drive, you've never had so much fun working so hard. The all-new Kubota RTV. It's the utility vehicle that's all Kubota.
Kubota tractors, available at Acme Electric Tool Crib of the North.
There's a voice deep inside you, saying yes, yes you can, and I know you hear it now. Yeah, yes you can. Yeah.
Here's to every player and coach on every team. Shields is right there with you.
This is from Century, Darren Holland. Actually, Holland's wearing 22. We got him here at 21. But Holland is the leading goal scorer on that team, one of the 3 leading goal scorers in the state. And he's the guy that you're going to have to watch. Watch for 22 for Rochester. And there's the other 22, the most heralded high school hockey player this year, Brian Lee. Terrific defenseman out of Moorhead. And he's a kid that's got big time written all over him. Watch him today. He's terrific.
All right, we're going to send it back down to the set. Tom Hauser and the guys as we get ready for game number 2.
All right, thanks, Dan and Lou. And let's just talk briefly about the last game. Rob W. Johnson from Duluth East is one guy who's going to sleep well tonight. He missed a wide-open net early in the game, and then he set up the game winner, Mike.
Yeah, he came back, and he made the steal. The one bad play that started the downfall for White Bear Lake, he made the play, stole the puck, made a great pass out in front. Duluth East buries it, and they're tied.
Yeah, it's too bad. I think White Bear is going to be shaking their heads, especially with all the great chances they had. They never buried them, and as a result, Duluth East moves on.
Mike, in the game we're about to see, Moorhead against Rochester Century, what should we look for?
Well, I don't know much about Rochester Century, but if you're cheering for Moorhead, your concern has to be their sense of urgency every shift they're on the ice to get something done.
All right, the opening face-off is just moments away when our coverage of the State High School Boys Hockey Tournament continues on 45.
Ready to remodel. Whether you change one window or a whole room, Marvin Windows and Doors capture every detail you want and nothing else.
To find out more about Marvin Windows and Doors, call 800-397-6647. Marvin Windows and Doors, made for you.
Afternoon's game is a Class 2A quarterfinal between the champions of Section 8 with a record of 23-2-2, the Moorhead Spuds, and the champions of Section 1 with a record of 23-2-3, the Rochester Century Panthers. Before we meet the rosters for both teams, let's meet the cheerleaders for Rochester Century. Sarah Anderson, Renee Hettinger, Stephanie Kern, Kimberly Busby, Bailey Johnson, Megan Coker, and they're coached by Judy Ryan. Now let's meet the entire rosters for both teams. First, let's meet the champions of Section 8 with a record of 23-2-2, the Moorhead Spuds. Senior defenseman number 2, Jake Dibble. Senior defenseman number 3, Tyler Johnson. Senior defenseman number 4, John Ammerman. Senior defenseman number 6, Brett Bardock. Sophomore defenseman number 7, Jeff Foss. Senior winger number 8, Ryan Clokey. Sophomore winger number 11, Jordy Christian. Senior center number 12, Corey Johnson. Senior winger number 14, Sean Lofgren. Senior winger number 15, Matt Becker. Junior center number 17, Jake Krause. Senior winger number 19, Corey Luce. Sophomore winger number 21, Pat Dietz. Senior defenseman number 22, Brian Lee. Senior winger number 24, Nate Miller. Sophomore center number 25, Devin Ditzkorski. Senior center number 26, Chris Vandevelde. Sophomore center number 27, Drew Fisher. Senior goaltender number 30, Spencer Dykes. And senior goaltender number 31, Derek Hiddle. The assistant coaches are Rory Sandvig and Terry Shercliffe. Head coach of the Spuds is Dave Morinville. Now let's meet the champions of Section 1, the Rochester, with a record of 23-2-3, the Rochester Century Panthers. Senior defenseman number 2, Casey Gorman. Sophomore defenseman number 3, Brian Frischman. Sophomore forward number 4, Patrick Condon. Junior forward number 5, Adam Grover. Senior forward number 6, Travis Peterson. Senior forward number 7, Brandon Bartman. Senior forward number 9, Zach Hickey. Junior forward number 10, Nick Revlin. Sophomore forward number 11, Joe Konopke. Senior forward number 13, Corey Sarsley. Senior forward number 14, Nick Curry. Junior defenseman number 17, Bryce Stevens. Sophomore forward number 18, this is an addition to your program, Tyler Sparks. Sophomore forward number 19, Garrett Grimstad. Sophomore defenseman number 21, Bryce Wilcox. Senior forward number 22, Darren Holland. Senior forward number 26, Drew Fleming. Senior goaltender number 31, Jeff O'Brien. Senior defenseman number 32, Chris Torgerson. Senior goaltender number 33, Alex Tangas. And senior forward number 44, Andrew Wilcox. Assistant coaches Josh Klingfuss and Andy Roth. Head coach of the Panthers is Bruce Frutiger.
Face-off just moments away, Moorhead and Rochester Century. But first, let's toss it down to Anthony LaPanta.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. As we get set for the second AA quarterfinal, it's an interesting comparison because on one side, you have a Rochester Century team that is happy to be here. The last 5 seasons, they were beaten in their section final, including one 5-overtime loss against Lakeville. On the other side, a team that has been here regularly. In fact, this is their 10th trip since 1992, but the Spuds are focused on the big prize this year. They won't be satisfied with arriving at the tournament. This is the team that's been built to win the championship. And they've been close before. 7 times they've won in the quarterfinals. 5 times they've reached the championship, including last year when they were beaten by Centennial. This year's team, with 12 players back from last year's tournament roster, looks to be the team to beat in this AA field. Dan?
Thank you very much, Anthony. We get set to drop the puck. We take a look at the goaltenders in this game to start. First of all, we go to the Rochester Century Panthers. Alex Kangas in goal, Louis, and comes in only 2 losses all year.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's been tested by anyone like the way Moorhead's going to test him here tonight, because Moorhead's got great firepower up front.
Now he's going to see a lot of shots here, most likely in this one. At the other end, they gather around goaltender, senior goaltender Spencer Deitz, and he has split time most of the year.
Yes, he has. And
oh, they're going with Hiddle? All right. I thought it was, I can't see him in there. Let's see who's in there. They do split. Hiddle and Deitz split back and forth. That's Derek Hiddle.
They feel real good about both goaltenders, and really they got such a strong defense that their goaltending is not the key on this team. The key in this team is the defenseman that they have. Brian Lee, we talked about him earlier, is maybe one of the most heralded players, been in the state for 10, 15 years.
All right, the officials for this second game of the afternoon session of Class AA quarterfinals. The referees, Mike Gagger and Don Hansen. The linesman, Mark Lasko. And we are set to go from the XL Energy Center. The Rochester Century Panthers in the light uniforms, silver or gray, and in the dark uniforms, black uniforms with white and orange trim, the Moorhead Spuds. And we'll go right back into the Century zone for a face-off.
Well, we got a face-off right off the bat because of icing. And I'll say one thing. If you're Rochester, you don't want to take too many icing calls, because you start having face-offs in your own zone against a strong team like Moorhead, it's going to result in quality chances for them, and chances for them usually end up in the net.
Puck slides behind the goal. Now trying to catch up with it was Fleming for the Panthers. Back to the point, held in by Brian Lee. Going to hear his name a lot. Number 22, 6'2" senior. Will he be a first-round draft pick, you think, Lou?
Right now, I think he could be a very high first-round draft pick. He was rated extremely high. He did get the opportunity to go with the U.S. junior team, and that's tremendous exposure. Even though he didn't play too much, it says a lot about what people think he can do.
There is Brian Lee with the puck down low. Walks right through, slides it in, he scores! Oh, my.
Well, the goaltender pulled off the pipe there a little too soon, and Brian Lee got a goal. One that really was a little easier than he anticipated, but it was a good play by him coming on the right side, cutting to the net, and the one thing he did do was make certain he got a shot away, even though it's on his backhand. Watch it, how he leans into the player.
Get out of my way.
Good movement there, and he cuts to the front, gets it in, just deflects it off the goaltender's goal stick into the net. Early lead for this hockey club here at Moorhead, a very strong hockey team, we might add.
He really pushed defender Casey Gorman aside with one hand and then just skated through him.
Well, a good puck carrier always leans into the checker and makes certain he gets his arm out so that the checker can't get the stick through to the puck, and that's exactly what he did there.
52 seconds in. Brian Lee scores his 12th of the season. Assist to Drew Fisher. And it's 1-0 Moorhead. Well, we had an early goal in the first game today, and that game didn't go as we expected. So you never know. Here comes a wrist shot that's deflected to the corner as the Rochester Century Panthers try to bounce back after giving up an early goal. Hickey will take a shot, and Hiddle will make the save and cover up, and it gives us a chance to check our American Family Insurance game plan on this one, although the game plan is changing quickly, Lou.
Well, Moorhead just wants to play their game. If they play their game, they're going to win. And one thing, Brian Lee's got to control the defensive end as well as offensively. Rochester's got to capitalize on the chances, because I don't think they're going to get a lot of them. And if anybody gets them, you want Holland to get them, and you want him to put it in, because he's their best goal scorer.
From the neutral zone, Fleming dumps it into the Moorhead zone. Bouncing puck in the corner. Tyler Johnson ahead at center to Becker. He'll cross the blue line right. Becker with a shot, missed it low, wide. Oh boy, big opening on the far side, and Jordy Christensen couldn't get a piece of it, as Kangas had a hard time getting back over. Centering pass comes through to the near wall, pushed by Becker to the point. Long wrist shot on, glove saved by Alex Kangas. The goaltender will keep it.
You might wonder why we're so high on Moorhead, but we have to remember this is really a senior-laden team. They're a team that was here last year. Not only here, they could have won the state. Centennial beat them, I believe it was 1-0 if I remember. We're going to look at the goal again. But this is a team that's been here, has got a great deal of confidence and ability. And they know how to use all facets of the game, including using their blue line, their points a lot, to get shots away. We were just looking at Brian Lee, a defenseman, scoring. Here's a kid who's got 11 goals during the year as a defenseman and 34 points. So they got all-around ability here, and they're going to be tough to beat.
Puck in the Moorhead zone, trying to come free was Holland. Holland lost the puck, and out comes Lofgren, the center. Van de Velde trying to chase it down. Centering pass in front of the Century goal is knocked away from the front by Darren Holland. And out come the Panthers. Holland gets to center, then he'll dump it in as they go back and change on the fly. That'll give the Spuds a little time to break it out of their own end. Flipped through the neutral zone by Ammerman. Stopped at his own blue line now by the Century Panthers defender. That was Wilcox. There's a chance coming in on the left wing side for Grimstad. Ends up behind the goal, now to the left wing boards. Ammerman to Johnson. Lost it at center. Fired back across the blue line into the Moorhead end, and the Panthers will change on the fly again. Long pass tipped to the blue line, pushed back out to neutral ice by the Panthers.
Let's go, guys, let's go.
Dibble lost it at center. Dumped back into the Moorhead zone. Left wing side to Kraus. Kraus is tied up. Gets some help from Jordy Christian, that is. Rotates it back on D to Jake Dibble. Dibble ahead at center now to Kluke. Kluke will dump it into the Rochester Century zone. Down low after it there was Kraus. Kraus back towards the point. Brian Lee right on the blue line. Pushes it ahead on the right side for Lofgren. And now cleared to the line, but not out. The Panthers finally clear it out of their zone. Brian Lee is there. Steps up. Right side. Walks around one man. Right circle. Fires a shot. On. Save. Dropped and then covered up by Alex Kangas. You're watching a little bit of the Brian Lee show. 1-0 Moorhead with the lead over Rochester Century. Boys high school hockey tournament action on 45.
Whoa. Hey, buddy.
Yeah?
Want to buy a car?
Oh, what?
$20. Little precious baby waxer.
Seriously?
$20. Come on, $20.
All right. 20. Oh, man.
No matter what stage you're at in life, there's a Wells Fargo nearby to help. Get more than free checking. Get to your next stage.
This first period being brought to you by Wells Fargo, the next stage. 1-0. The Moorhead Spuds leading the Rochester Century Panthers. They scored in the first minute of play. And right away, we've had early goals, late goals. We've seen it all here in the first start of this boys high school hockey tournament. Puck in the neutral zone, pushed ahead on the right wing side. In for Wilcox, took a shot, went just wide. Moorhead in the black jerseys in this one, and away from the play, we get a whistle.
And we're going to have a power play coming up at this time for Rochester, and that's what they need. An interference call coming. Moorhead going into the penalty box, and Moorhead now, even though they're leading 1-0, we want to make sure they see behind the play. That just not only slew footy with Becker was first he was hooking him a little bit, and then he kicked his skates out from under him. You don't want to take penalties like that. You're winning 1-0. You're looking good. You got good control. You don't ever want to put a team on a power play and let them back in the game with a needless call. You got to be certain about that.
Penalty was on Matt Becker for interference at 4:25. There you see the Century Panthers power play, and the penalty kill 85.5% for the Spuds.
One thing Moorhead's doing that surprised me a bit, they're laying back killing penalties. They're not going deep and forcing aggressively. They're just waiting for them by the blue line. Right there is where they meet the play. They want them to come up, and they just want to stay balanced in the neutral zone area and force you to the wall.
There's Chris Van de Velde that poked it away. Now Brian Lee has it. Rotates it right to Foss. Sends it to the blue line of the Panthers. Knocked down there by Torgerson. Now in the neutral zone. The loose puck is picked up by Drew Fisher. Fisher waits, banks it off the glass all the way down the line. This is Van de Velde on a backhand. He went high and wide, then crashes into the back wall behind the goal. Comes across the front, almost got a return pass sent to him from Brian Lee. And now here come the Panthers back on the left wing side. Wilcox down around. I think he wanted to wrap it around, lost his edge, and then flung it towards the net, and it's covered up by Derek Hiddle.
Now, one thing Rochester did real well there, they took the puck down the boards and they took it deep. And that's because the Moorhead defenseman fall. Look how far back. He's all the way halfway into the zone. When you're killing the penalty and you had a forward coming on that side, forcing him to the wall, the defenseman's got to stand up at the blue line. Don't let him in so easy. Make him dump the puck in. You don't want the opposing team on a power play having easy control in your own zone, and that's what Rochester was able to do there.
Looked like Brian Frischman was having a little. He's got something following him there. He's trying to fix it and stay on the ice, but the referee finally said, "No, you need to go off and take care of that, so we can keep playing hockey."
And you got to tie your skates. You got to tie them on the bench.
Off the draw, it slid wide of the goal in the Moorhead end. Out to the left point. Power play here for Century. Trailing 1-0. Moorhead will get the loose puck and clear it. Back after it quickly is Bryce Wilcox. Rotates in his own zone to Brian Frischman. The center broken up. Comes back to Wilcox. Oh, Wilcox goes face first into the wall. Gets up. He's fine. Didn't look good.
Moorhead's forwards doing a good job of forcing Rochester to the boards all the time.
Cleared again by the Spuds.
That makes it easy for the defenseman to check them and pick up those pucks. Good job offensively by the forwards in Moorhead in the neutral zone.
Final seconds here of the penalty time against Moorhead. 1 second remaining with a whistle and a stoppage of play, and then we're back to even strength.
And that faceoff's got to come all the way down in the defensive zone. When you're on the power play and you hit the puck over your shoulder with a stick, it comes all the way back in your own zone. So the faceoff will be deep. That'll be enough to allow Moorhead to get a man out of the penalty box, be on full strength, and be able to change a player with the puck in the offensive zone.
Off the draw, the puck is down, the penalty is expired, puck back to the point. Got outside the blue line now, and it'll be flipped to center, knocked down with the high stick, controlled though by the Spuds. And Fisher lost it. Up with the loose puck. Curry dumps it into the right corner. Johnson back after it for the Spuds. Pushed out to the neutral zone by Miller. Back in his own end to pick it up is Stevens for the Panthers. Stevens got it ahead on the right side for Peterson. Centering pass as they try to break it out of their zone, but the Spuds again step up and swat it right back down low. Here's a scoring chance with a drop pass that comes all the way through the slot back to the point. Brian Lee moving in and out of traffic all around. Right circle shot. Save made by Kangas. Rebound. He had to kick that one out. And the rebound is now cleared out in the zone and down into the Moorhead end of the ice.
When you're really confident, you start holding on to the puck and you start playing cute. And Van de Velde made a great play to go in there, but then instead of taking a shot, he drops the pass and then he got a shot on net. When you're all alone in the goaltender, get the shot on net.
Wilcox out of his own end, dumps it ahead. It's deflected right to Brian Lee, who clears it to center. Loose puck picked up by Peterson. Tried to get it over to Andrew Wilcox, knocked away out to center. Here's a rush the other way. Corey Johnson had it knocked away. Corey Luce will try to pick it up. Cleared out to center again. They'll regroup. This is Barta. Rotates it back for Ammerman. Back to Barta, blue line right. Ahead of center, Johnson. Johnson on his backhand, centered in front, off a skate, left in front, now cleared but not out. Shot from the point by Ammerman, missed it. Spuds will regroup. Barta dumps it in. Moorhead up 1-0. Scored in the first minute of the game. Dumped around behind the Moorhead goal.
Moorhead playing with a lot of confidence.
Backhand on goal. It slipped away from Kangas. And knocked down. Shot from the point will go to the corner. Picked up on the left wing wall by Becker. Becker cycles, turns in the corner, looking all the way through to the right point. Johnson winds it up, hit traffic, never got through. Rebound, that shot was blocked in front as well. Another shot right on, and Alex Kangas covers it up, and he'll keep it as the Moorhead Spuds keep coming at him. They lead it 1-0. We'll take another look at Brian Lee. It's fun to watch. This is state high school hockey action on 45.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Cable One. Watch us make you smile. And SmartWire Electrical Contractors. When better training, experience, and availability matter, think SmartWire. And by Shields. Right there with you. Don't miss all the tournament action right here on KCPM.
Rochester Panthers have got to start using the body, taking Moorhead forwards out and eliminating them, because Moorhead just moving around at will in the defensive zone of Rochester, getting some opportunities. One thing Moorhead's got to do, though, Dan, at the same time, is not be overconfident. We talked about them playing solid early, and we mean by that, play the game properly. Don't try and get too cute.
Wilcox with a pass, dropped it back for Darren Holland. He got laid out pretty hard, got dropped behind the play. And now they'll try to break it out of their own zone. And Veldy on the right side. Fisher to the net. Drop pass. Quick shot taken, and another save by Alex Kangas, keeping it at 1-0.
They're just moving with at freedom with a will that Rochester's got to really take the body more. We're going to look at some physical hit right now, but Moorhead has got the ability, you see right here, to play physical or to play with the puck. And Brian Lee, who does everything, made a great hit there. But watch the way Moorhead just controls the puck. They beat a man with the puck. They pass the puck by people. They got great confidence in their ability. They'll call that for hitting the puck too high with a stick. But they've got great confidence in their ability to move the puck and control the puck. And when you're playing like that early in the game and you're not being tested at all, you know what happens? You start to get cute. You start to hold on too long. You pass up shots you should have. And that's what Moorhead's got to guard against. They've got to have a killer instinct as quickly as they can. Anytime they got an opportunity to score, they got to go for the jugular, and they got to put it in the net.
Puck slides behind the Moorhead goal. We've been informed from down ringside that we were right originally. It is Deitz in goal, but he's wearing number 31. So the numbers got somewhere between Moorhead and here. Their numbers got messed up, and so it is Spencer Deitz in goal, and not Derek Hittle. Back in the corner now, Corey Luce. Comes free now, the puck to Revlin, to the point, a shot tipped in front and then scooped up by Deitz, and he'll hang on. Another face-off coming up as Grimstead got a shot off, got through.
Good shot, and that's what Rochester wants to do, put the puck on the net. They get opportunities, as they did right there from the point. You want to make certain that you get the shot on net. You never know when it's going to get deflected in, go straight in, or get a rebound for you.
Vandevelde wins the draw, pulls it back. It goes behind the goal for Moorhead. Now coming back to pick it up is Becker. Century would like to play in the Moorhead zone a little bit more, but here come the Spuds out quickly. Kraus out front. A shot by Becker didn't get through on goal. And now Century pushes it up on the left wing boards. They can't get it out. Dumped back down low in the zone by Sean Lofgren. And sent the length of the ice. Won't go far enough for icing. Back after it is Tyler Johnson for Moorhead. Pass to center to Becker. Becker circles back, got it ahead off the skates of Tyler Johnson. Knocked back into the zone, but an offsides at the blue line of Rochester Century, and a stop in the play as we take a look at the Moorhead Spuds.
One thing you could say about Moorhead Spuds, they stay balanced. It's really one of their strengths. They are terrific positional players. They don't get caught up chasing people into other guys' positions. They know their position, they play them very well, and they support each other very well.
Ammerman through the neutral zone. They got in offsides. They tag up. Century clears, controlled. Barta over to Ammerman, ahead across the line. Vandevelde trying to work around, looking for the wraparound, goes to the corner, centers all the way back to the point. From there, Ammerman Shot was blocked. He's hit on the back wall by Wilcox. Century trying to be physical down low in their zone. Van de Velde lost it as he was trying to work it down low. Still in the Century zone. Now cleared out rink wide to center. John Ammerman whips it right back in off the glass behind the goal. Moorhead will change on the fly. Down low to pick it up is Fisher. Fisher trying to kill some time. He knew he was in there alone. Now it's broken out to center. Wilcox lost it. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Ends up in the Moorhead end of the rink. Brian Lee back on the ice. Has the puck.
Just toying with people.
Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He really does. He just has so much confidence back there. It's a treat to watch a player play like that.
Puck at center. Kluke will go back and pick it up. Back for Brian Lee. Slides it ahead at center. Too far for Ryan Kluke. Now dumped into the Moorhead end of the rink by Chris Torgerson. And the Spuds will break it up. Kluke right side. Rink wide pass to center. All the way deep into the zone is Corey Luce. Picked up by Torgerson. He'll get it back and clears to center ice.
Moorhead's been real effective with their passing thus far. They've been very sharp, tape to tape.
Krause along the line, got it in deep. Lofgren is chasing it down. And head on the left wing side. This is Konipke. Konipke shot on goal. A glove save made by Deitz and a stoppage of play as they're checking out some artwork at the XL Energy Center.
Rochester feels real good, Dan, the way the game's going. They're trailing 1-0, and even though they don't have any puck control, if you just hang around like we saw Duluth East in the first game, you never know what's going to happen. That's what they want to do, just keep it close.
Worked out for the Greyhounds. Matt Becker tied up in the corner, flipped out to neutral ice. Very patient is Rochester Century. They're not trying to bust this game wide open, just make smart plays. When you get a chance, dump it deep in the Moorhead zone and hang around.
They know they can't play end-to-end with Moorhead, so just play smart. Just don't give up chances. Let them have puck control, but don't give up any scoring chances, and you never know what's going to happen.
Moorhead's goaltender Deitz stopped it behind. Now this pass got away from the winger Lofgren, and this will be icing against Moorhead. Go back in their zone for the faceoff.
I think Moorhead, what they've got to do, they've got to start just trying to get a little more momentum in their play. Even though they got great puck control, it seems like it's all around the perimeter and they're not getting towards the net. They've got to start driving to the net, getting shots on net. And here's a guy that can do it. One a terrific hockey player, Van de Velde, for Moorhead 26.
The winner of this game plays Duluth East, who beat White Bear Lake 3-2 in our first game this afternoon. In a game where they were outshot, they were outplayed, they were outplayed badly at times. Here's Wilcox, drops a pass over for Holland with a shot. Another save by Deitz. And this Panther team, Lou, is not going to give up real easily. They're going to keep coming back.
And that man, 22, Holland, is the guy you don't want to get shots on net because he usually can put it away. That time he was played to the outside. He had to shoot in the backhand, but he still had the presence of mind to get the shot on net. He was being checked twice. Goal scorers put the puck on the net. That's the big difference between people who don't score. It just seems it doesn't matter what their angle, where they are, the puck ends up going on the net.
Spuds in their own end will try to work it out from there. Johnson had it turned back. Wilcox on the forecheck against Johnson. And Johnson goes down. Wilcox on the puck. It's knocked off the play. And the Spuds again now swatted out to center ice. Fired back in by Frischman.
No sense of urgency in Moorhead's play right now. I think that's been the biggest problem.
Well, I think they've kind of slipped into the game plan at a game speed that Century would like to keep up.
That's right. Century loves it. Just keep playing the same way.
But then you get a few players that spring loose. There's a quick shot right on by Van de Velde and a save by Kangas.
And he's the guy that can spring loose. He is a terrific hockey player, one of the finest players in the state. Had 33 goals this year. He's the leader in the offense. There's no doubt about that. He can make things happen. Great hands, great vision, good size. and he could put the puck on the net and score goals. And that's what you see him do right here. Take a pass on the side from Fisher and put it right through the net.
You don't want to get him going. He had 6 hat-tricks this year, so he scores in bunches. You don't want to get him started. For the Spuds, Barta. Ahead at center to Corey Johnson. Poke checked away. Sursley across the line. Revlin couldn't get the shot on goal. And out come the Spuds again down the right wing side. This is Ammerman carrying to center, right up the middle across the blue line. Dished it off, but it's going to be knocked back out to neutral ice by the Panthers. Blue line left. Brian Lee. One of those few players we've talked about for Lou, where as soon as he gets the puck, he kind of gets you up on the edge of your seat.
That's right. Anything can happen because he handles it so well. He's got such an excellent vision of the ice.
More on Brian Lee coming up. A little feature in our first intermission. Stay tuned to that on 45, where you're watching the state high school hockey tournament action. Krause is pinned along the wall, but they break it out. Becker waiting for Lee to cross the line. Drop past Lee. There's the shot, and it's wide in front of the goal. And held in at the right point by Tyler Johnson. He'll take a shot. Rebound is knocked away from the front of the goal. Jordy Christian on it. Is bumped off the play. And in the corner now, they're going to send it the length of the ice to take the heat off a little bit. Icing against the Rochester Century Panthers as you look at Brian Lee going to UND.
One of the surprises when you look at it right now, if you were to say who had the puck for the most time on their stick, far and away Moorhead. If you look at shots on net, it's 9-7 Moorhead. So the thing that Rochester is doing, if they get any time to shoot the puck on the net, they put it on the net.
Great pass by Lee down to Ammerman. Ammerman couldn't get a shot off. Van de Velde tied up on the back wall. Tried to center, knocked away. Knocked right back into the zone by Fisher, but out come the Panthers. Left wing side, Barta. Barta knocked down, couldn't get a shot off. Trying to come in and help out was Holland. They go to the corner. Final seconds of period number 1. And a shot right at the horn was a little bit late. And that'll end the first period of play. Moorhead looking good, but again, the Panthers, Lou, just sticking around, staying in the game.
That's right. Moorhead had a lot of control, puck control, but they didn't have the kind of quality chances you would expect from having that much puck control. When they did get shots on that, Kangas had a real good period, but Moorhead has got to get better opportunities out of all the kind of puck time that they've had. They really are not, they just don't seem to be playing in the offensive zone with any kind of urgency or hunger. And I think that's the thing missing from this game. I know they're confident in their game and their abilities, but you want to have the kind of attitude that we're going to go out there and fill the net. And they don't seem to have that attitude thus far, even though they had a very good period of play.
All right, Moorhead up 1-0 after 1 period of play. Let's toss it down to the bench area and Anthony LaPenta.
Thanks, Dan, with Bruce Frudiger, head coach for Rochester Century. And Coach, down 1-0 after a period. I think if I had told you were going to be down 1 to the Spuds, obviously you'd rather have a lead, but I think you guys would have taken 1-0.
Well, it took the boys a little while to get their feet under them. We've got to close the gaps down and take some time and space away from their skilled players. If we don't do that, there's skilled players that are going to get opportunities, and you can't do that all night long. So I think that's the focus right now, is make sure we're using our feet, that we're moving our feet, try to take away time and space. And then we got to move in the offensive zone and have the poise to move with the puck, because we've got some players that have a lot of poise with the puck and see the ice extremely well. If they'll do that, we got a chance to score some goals.
And a great player made a great individual play for them to get them on the board. After that, Alex Kangas played very well.
Alex has played super. He's made a blocker save that was beautiful. He's tough in the nets. He's a fierce competitor. And Lee scored a beautiful goal. You know, he went hard to the net and then found the rebound and got her home.
Thanks. Good luck.
Hey, thank you.
Bruce Frudiger, he and the Panthers down a goal. Brian Lee, the only marker here today. Take a closer look at the all-star defenseman next.
Ready to remodel. Whether you change one window or a whole room, Marvin Windows and Doors capture every detail you want, and nothing else.
To find out more about Marvin Windows and Doors, call 800-397-6647. Marvin Windows and Doors, made for you.
There's a voice deep inside you. singing yes, yes you can, and I know you hear it now. Yeah, yes you can. Yeah.
Here's to every player and coach on every team. Shields is right there with you.
This is my land, and this is my Kubota Grand L.
Notice how he introduces the tractor first.
This is my wife, Kathy.
He spends a lot of time with his Kubota. Jerry!
This field used to be filled with rocks and brush. Well, we took care of that.
I told him we need to spend more time together. So, I got my own Kubota.
Reliable, versatile, easy to operate. Kubota, everything you value.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications, Get Hooked, and Home Furniture. There's no place like home. And by A1 Automotive. Your satisfaction is our success. Don't miss all the action right here on KCPM, your Central Plains media station.
This new urban spa will do anything not to get shut down.
Hey, Mr. Inspector.
I'm gay.
Have you met Kevin?
But a new comedy, UPN Monday, right after One-on-One.
Class 2A boys high school hockey tournament. You can see Moorhead leading Rochester Century 1-0. Not many goals scored in this game, obviously, just the one, but it was scored by a guy that should be no surprise. Brian Lee is ranked the #1 prospect in the state of Minnesota, and Joe Schmidt recently talked to the Moorhead defenseman, and here's what he had to say.
West is a sophomore and played and did very well, and played varsity as a sophomore and junior, and obviously after his sophomore year made the Select 16 team, went and played overseas for the U.S. 16 national team, and had a great tournament over there and did the same thing with the 17 team and made the national junior team. He's a type of defenseman, kind of like almost a Brian Leach type of defenseman. He can do some good things offensively, but just very solid defensively, very strong on the puck. He's hard to knock off the puck. I mean, he can control the puck. A lot of defensemen control the puck coming up the ice, but a lot of guys can't control it at the blue line in the offensive zone, and that's something he can do.
It's not just Brian Lee's coach who sings his praises. Opposing coaches and players alike appreciate his skills.
You can't say anything bad about the kid. He's a great player, and he can shoot the puck, and he knows how to score, and plays great defense, and he's going to North Dakota, and what are you going to say? There's nothing he does wrong.
Brian Lee is probably a #1 draft choice this year. He's already signed with the University of North Dakota. He played on the U.S. Junior National team this year in the World Tournament up in Grand Forks. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Great offensive skill, great defensive skill. He's a great player.
Brian Lee is quiet and humble off the ice and attributes his success to the help he gets on the ice.
Playing on a great team helps everybody look better. Practicing against great players every day makes you get better. Obviously, you have to, or you're going to get embarrassed at practice out there. So everything just adds up. Our weight program with Dominic Noonan here in town, great coaching, everything just adds up to make all the players on our team get better every day.
And you can look at the central scouting numbers on Brian Lee, ranked #1. Mike, you know a lot more about this than I do. Tell me about some of these other players, and including Brian Lee.
Well, Brian Lee, for a young man playing high school hockey, played in a World Junior Tournament. He was one of, I think, 4 18-year-olds in the world to play in that tournament up in Grand Forks. In my memory of high school hockey here in Minnesota, I don't remember another high school kid playing in the World Junior except for Mr. Housley.
No, you've got a teammate on there too, Vandeveld.
Right, Vandeveld, he's a heck of a player too. Niskanen from Virginia, I think they're all very, very good prospects, and they're still high on everybody's list in the pro game right now.
And Phil, in this game, what do you think of Brian Lee?
Oh, I think it's poise. I mean, poise with the puck. Makes all the right decisions, makes the right plays. I'd like to see him shoot a slap shot now, here and again. He's really powered on the net, but he's a great positional player. He's got a great future ahead of him.
All right, and in just a few minutes, we have another period ahead of us, and we'll see Brian Lee play some more. When we come back, we'll have highlights from yesterday's Class A action when our coverage of the boys high school hockey tournament continues.
Perkins presents our Seafood Spectacular.
7 seafood dishes. All your favorites for a limited time only. Come see what all the noise is about. Perkins, breakfast is just the beginning.
I love online classes because it helps fit in with my working schedule.
You can do all of your coursework, your tests, everything online.
When I need help in my online class, I can email or call my instructor, and I know that the help is there.
I was called to active duty in February, but I was still able, through Walkers, to complete all my online classes, continue on with my education.
The best thing about online classes is you never have to get out of your pajamas.
Call Walkers Business College today at 888-236-0756.
Oh, come on. I can't believe they're doing it again.
Doing what?
Raising my rates another $3. Every time I turn around, I keep getting stopped with another increase.
I have Cable One, and my rates are staying the same.
This is the third time I'm getting hit.
I knew I should never have gotten satellite.
At Cable One, we bring you great entertainment without raising your rates.
Watch us make you smile.
Everything you value in a tractor is now available in a utility vehicle. Introducing the all-new Kubota RTV, the utility vehicle engineered like a tractor. With its hydrostatic transmission, power steering, wet disc brakes, and four-wheel drive, you've never had so much fun working so hard. The all-new Kubota RTV. It's the utility vehicle that's all Kubota.
Kubota tractors, available at Acme Electric Tool Crib of the North.
Moorhead leading Rochester Century 1-0. We're not even halfway through our Class 2A quarterfinals, but there was plenty of action in Class A yesterday. And guys, we're going to look at some highlights of those games right now. One goal from each. Let's start with the first game. Phil, take this one.
Well, the 8th grade sensation, Jordan Schrader, makes a great move, puts on the speed here, but watch this. He shoots the pucks, keeps going to the net, gets his own rebound. That was a great play by that young guy.
And, of course, St. Thomas Academy beats Virginia Mountain Iron Bureau 8-2.
This one, War Road, you see Mr. Marvin come down the boards here. It's almost a duplicate of Mr. Schrader's goal. He comes in, he shoots the puck, he follows for the rebound, puts it away. Just a great effort.
And War Road takes care of Albert Lee 6-1. Moving on to our third game of the day yesterday, Phil.
Tino Grace, Brian Shack comes in, and he is a great shooter. He has 24 goals for a defenseman this year.
Tino Grace 5-2 over Shakopee. And our final game, Duluth Marshall.
Well, I think Tino Grace is going to have their hands full with this young guy. Tom Kozlak finds the top shelf where Grandma keeps the cookies.
And Duluth, we never get tired of hearing
I love that.
I can't wait till Grandma brings some of her cookies up. It's 9-2, of course. Duluth Marshall won that game to advance. So there are the brackets right now. You can see St. Thomas and War Road will face off tomorrow, as will Tino Grace and Duluth Marshall. And we want to mention that in the consolation play today over at Mariucci, Albert Lee and Little Falls won each of their games, so they will advance to the consolation championship. And again, that will be tomorrow. So what do you guys look forward to in those Class A games?
Oh, I think it's going to be great hockey. The first one, what is the first one?
We know that St. Thomas Academy.
St. Thomas and Roy Road. It's going to be a great game. I mean, they're going to use their youth, St. Thomas, and speed, and try to beat them with their youth and speed against Roy Road.
And then you got Duluth Marshall and Tino Grace.
I think that's going to be a classic matchup. Everybody in the Twin Cities knows a lot about Tino Grace, doesn't know much about Duluth Marshall. But like Phil said, this Duluth Marshall team can play, and that little Kozlak kid, he can really fire the pucks. I think Tino Grace is going to have their hands full today.
Yeah, and hockey fans up in Duluth have a lot to cheer about, with Duluth East already winning today. Our coverage of the Boys State High School Hockey Tournament will continue in just a moment.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah?
I want to buy a car.
Oh, what?
$20. Little precious baby waxer.
Seriously?
$20. Come on, $20.
All right. 20. Oh, man.
No matter what stage you're at in life, there's a Wells Fargo nearby to help. Get more than free checking. Get to your next stage.
When you're looking for an electrician or an electrical contractor, look for the SmartWire emblem. SmartWire means you're hiring the best electrical contractors with an available workforce to handle any job with quality and safety. SmartWire electricians bring better training, more experience, and the know-how to take on your demands for high-tech wiring. For a higher standard, look for these SmartWire electricians and contractors. Think SmartWire, because it matters.
The 40th Annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show returns to the Fargo Dome, presented by the Lake Agency Kiwanis Club, March 3rd through 6th. See the all-new 2005 boats, dogs, RVs, campers, and more. Hundreds of resorts on hand so you can plan your next vacation right at the show. Daily seminars including special kids fishing clinics, plus great cats of the world, great American duck races, live trout pond, and more. The 40th Annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show, March 3rd through 6th at the Fargo Dome.
We make shopping easy. Now through Tuesday, in 3-pound packages, our own ground fresh several times daily, 80% lean regular ground beef, $1.68 a pound in 3-pound packages, limit 6 pounds. And farm-raised fresh Atlantic salmon fillets, $3.98 a pound. No coupons, no cards, and great prices every day.
We make shopping easy for embarkers. We make shopping easy for embarkers.
Plenty of bright sunshine outside the XL Energy Center. Let's go down to Anthony LaPanta at ringside where the bright lights are shining. Anthony?
Well, they are bright down here, and Rochester Century is going to have to find a way to light the red light. They trail by 1 at the end of 1. We always talk about teams getting comfortable around the XL Energy Center and at the state tournament. Well, for Moorhead, that's not very difficult because many of these players have been here before. In fact, there are 6 players on this year's roster who have been here twice before, both as sophomores and as juniors. They only graduated 8 seniors a year ago, and all told, this roster features 57 games of state tournament experience. On the other side, Rochester Century, 0. Bruce Fertiger was here once before as a head coach at John Marshall. Dave Morinville has already coached in 13 games at the state high school tournament. Guys, let's get ready for that second period. Dan?
All right, thank you very much, Anthony. When the Spuds scored early in this game in the first minute, Lou, you really didn't expect to be still 1-0 at this point, did you?
No, you didn't, and that's one thing that Bruce Fertiger feels real good about because he does have scoring ability. It doesn't matter what league you're playing in. Goal scorers score goals, and he's got 2 lines that have a lot of goals, so if they get an opportunity, they can put the puck in the net. And that's what he's hoping for right now because the Spuds have not shown the killer instinct that I would have expected thus far.
Period 2 underway from the XL Energy Center. 1-0. Moorhead with the lead over Rochester Century. A steal down low and trying to get free for a shot was Van de Velde, but could not. First game today went to Duluth East over White Bear Lake. That may be a surprise. I know it was to White Bear Lake.
Go ahead, your line.
At center, Fisher pushes it down to the left corner. In after it there is Nate Miller. Fisher trying to get free, fires a shot and forces a save by Alex Kangas, the goaltender for Rochester Century. They're in the lighter uniforms, the silver or gray, and the Spuds in the black sweaters with the white trim. Cleared through center. It'll be chased down now by Brett Barta all the way back into his own end. And head on the left wing side to Corey Luce. Too far, intercepted in the neutral zone by the Panthers, and they'll dump it right back into the White Bear end. They're very patient. They know what they need to do. Slide one to the net. Knocked away. And the Spuds will turn it back to the other end. Johnson looking for Luce. Comes free for a moment. Bounces down low. Johnson tried to center all the way back to the point. A one-time blast that hit something out front and went wide as Jeff Foss let it go. Centered in front again, and a shot blocked out front. And the Panthers push it ahead to center. Fired in on goal from out the neutral zone and stopped there by Deitz as the Panthers wanted to get a change done on the fly. Puck picked off at center by Corey Johnson, trying to get it in deep. Can't get it across that blue line. Finally chops a backhander deep in the zone. Frischman caught from behind there by Lofgren. Right point. Voss in front. This one hits the netting up above the glass and goes out of play.
See, at no point in his whole hockey game has it not looked like Moorhead's in complete control. But for being in complete control, if you were looking at really the quality scoring chances, you'd be surprised to find so very little.
No.
They just are completely dominant out there. They have so much talent. They move the puck so well. And should they win this game, I'm telling you, they're going to have their hands full tomorrow night than the winner of Holy Angels and Jefferson, because I've seen those two teams, and they play with a sense of urgency.
That puck's going to be moving up and down the ice.
Yep.
Much different style, different tempo of play, most likely. Foss behind his own goal, battling for the puck, kicked around. Wilcox centers in front, it's shot wide. And now the Spuds back the other way. They lead it 1-0. Early period 2. Defense pinches the man off, steps up Kangas, knocks it away.
Going to be a penalty here for slashing. Yeah. Moorhead's going to get their first opportunity in the power play, and that's going to be something to see. These guys, you just look at them, the way they're moving the puck 5-5, you can imagine what it's going to be 4-5-4. Here you see, as he's getting taken out after the takeout, there was a slash by Moorhead, by Rochester, so we're going to see a power play here for the first time tonight, and it's going to be Moorhead, and I expect this puck to be going tic-tac-toe all the way around, the way they move that puck.
Wilcox, the penalty for slashing. I'm guessing that it would go to Brian Lee, and there he is at the right point. Yeah, you want setting it up. They move it around behind. Now a quick wrap around, a shot, deflected. It goes high and out of play.
Yep.
That wasn't a real patient start to the power play.
Well, the one thing they never forced the puck at all when they were 5-5, and right away they forced the puck
here. To get the power
5-4. You know, they got time to move it around and take the good shot, and they do have people that can shoot that puck.
It was deep. There's one shot. And there's a rebound right in front. Was Corey Luce, but it was knocked away. Brian Lee at the right point keeps it in. Bouncing puck, high slot. There's a shot, save made, and it's hung on to. The whistle blew right as the puck slipped away from Alex Kangas, the senior goaltender for Rochester Century.
And Kangas has made some real good saves here in the last couple of seconds. He's had a number of shots, but here's the quality ones. Here's from the scoring area, the slot area. Look at that. He makes a save, then he's got to save that rebound because Van de Velde was right there on the doorstep.
This game just reminds me so much of our first game today, with Duluth East just hanging in there, keeping it close, staying within one, and finally getting what they needed. There's a save, gloved and hung on to by Kangas.
The big difference, though, Dan, in the first game today, White Bear was getting quality scoring chances.
Yes, they were.
They had some real good chances. Goaltender Saul was terrific. Kangas now has to be sharp because Moorhead really moves the puck on that power play, and they get quality chances. They've had two of them so far.
Here's Brian Lee. He shoots. That's steered aside, thrown out to the left side, but it's going to be Ammerman at the point trying to keep it in, and it's cleared ahead and out to center. Right wing side. Short-handed, then Peterson will just dump it in down low in the White Bear end. Just over a minute to go in the man advantage for the Spuds. Their first power play of the game. Shot right on. Boy, that was a dangerous-looking shot. Ammerman gets his own rebound, leaves it back behind the play for Van de Velde. Van de Velde on top for Ammerman with a shot off the goaltender, I think off the crossbar, Louis. Whoa.
He made the save first, then it went up off the crossbar.
Now the other way, Skippy Holland will dump it down. Still over half a minute to go in the man advantage. Spuds coming that close. The crossbar off a save. Now Brian Lee pushes it towards the goal. Didn't get through. Kluke. Center slot. One-time shot right in front by Luce. Well, they've had their chances here on the power play.
Yes, they have. They've had 6 good ones.
Now here's a rush the other way by Grimstad. He's knocked off the puck, and he got it down deep. And back came the Spuds the other way. Becker overskates it. Picked up again by Grimstad. Takes a shot. It went wide of the goal, hit the side of the cage. Penalty time has expired. We're back to even strength, and Century doing their best to frustrate the Moorhead Spuds, who scored in the first minute of this game and haven't had a lot of good chances since then. A couple on that power play. Brought back by Becker. Carried in on the right side, and they will try to work it around as the Panthers continue to be very tough in their own zone.
Panthers are being physical, and that's what they have to do. They're not afraid to take the body out there.
Fisher to the point. Down low, cleared off the glass. Bouncing puck will come out to the neutral zone again. Brian Lee. Pass to the right side across the line. All the way back out to Brian Lee. Tried to fire it through to the goal. It was blocked. And goes to the right corner. Johnson pinned along the boards. Cleared to the line. Not out. Still held in. This is Corey Luce, who walks along the blue line. Luce dives, knocks it in. Now cleared out by Frischman. All the way down. This will be icing here against Rochester Century. They trail the Moorhead Spuds 1-0. Moorhead tried to add to it here. Couldn't quite get it past Kangas as they ring the pipe. This is state high school hockey action on 45.
Joe, you're glad we got the Durango, right?
Of course.
And you liked all the money we saved when we bought it, right?
Got us a bigger boat.
Oh, and how about the Hemi engine and the DVD player and the hands-free cell? Then why won't you use the navigation system?
I'm not lost.
Dodge Durango.
This is starting to look familiar.
It's a lot of great stuff for a great price. Dodge Durango with 5-star, the highest frontal crash test rating.
Dan Terhar and Lou Nanny, along with the rest of the crew, here at the XL Energy Center. Game number 2, another shot right on goal, and Kangas makes another save. 1-0. Moorhead scored the first minute of this game, and that's where we've been stuck.
You know, Dan, one thing Moorhead's doing well is getting the shots from the point and on the net. Because that's happening, they're forward. Somebody's got to go to the front of the net and either screen the goalie, tip it in, get a rebound. But those shots are getting through, and there's no one there to pick them up.
There's a steal in front. Now the Panthers tried to work it back to the point. It was knocked down, centered through the slot area. Nobody got a piece of it. Comes to the near half wall, pushed ahead, but held in at the right point. There's a long wrist shot, steered aside with the left arm by Deitz. Little jam at the side. Deitz knocked it away behind the goal. Now out to neutral ice. Torgerson. They will flip it deep into the Moorhead zone and change quickly on the fly. Spuds will take it out from behind. Quick pass ahead to Jordy Christensen. Christensen to the right side. His pass was broken up at center. Knocked right back into the Century zone. Trying to turn it over was Christensen. It's knocked away from him by Fleming. And now ahead to the neutral ice, Grimstead. Right wing pass. Grimstead for Hickey. Pushed back down low. Grimstead lost it. It's cleared out to the neutral zone. Fired right back into the zone by Dorman. The Panthers tag up and get onside. Brian Lee in his own end. Skates through a check there. Banks it ahead on the left wing side for Corey Luce. Back ahead now to Van der Verde. And he lost it as he's ridden off on the left wing side. Now picks one out of midair. Centers across on the right wing side. And a short side shot is steered away.
Good attempt there, though. He tried to put it in the upper corner from a sharp angle.
Brian Lee centers. Bouncing puck in front. The save is made again by Kangas. And the rebound is cleared but not out. There's a blocker save made by Alex Kangas. Back out to Brian Lee. Got it through. Stick save by Kangas. Into the right corner. Corey Luce. Out to the right half boards. He'll drop it back down low. Into the slot. A shot. And they are coming back and trying to get something by Kangas.
Now they're going with some kind of purpose.
Yes. Loose centers, comes all the way through to the point. Shot from there, safe. All the way back to the point again, and it's fanned on out on top by Jeff Foss. And Kangas says, that's enough. I'm covering that thing up.
You're right. I think he's a little bit tired there. He had to make 4 saves in the last 30 seconds. And one thing he did do is he made certain he controlled the rebound there. A lot of action around the net here. Good shots from the point. They're all getting through and they're getting on net for Moorhead. They just don't have anybody getting those rebounds in front because they are in position to score goals after Kangas makes that first save, but no one's there to pick up that rebound.
Off the face-off, down behind the goal. They're trying to center it out front. There's Nate Miller, the big left winger, cleared to center, knocked down there by Barta. Barta flips it back into the left corner. This one will clear the blue line out to center ice. Barta turns, rotates it blue line left for Ammerman. Ammerman fires right on. Another stave made by Alex Kangas. And a stop in the action midway through period number 2. 1-0.
Tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Marvin Windows and Doors, made for you, and RDO, customer-focused, quality-driven. And Acme Electric, tool crib of the North. Don't miss all the tournament action right here on your Central Plains media station.
Toyota moving forward. 1-0 Moorhead with the lead over Rochester Century. The Panthers hanging tough, getting great goaltending. The Spuds have been putting on the pressure here in the last few minutes. There's a bouncing puck in towards the net. Swatting at it there was Kluke. He pulls it back to the point. Back to the point again. Shot blocked out front. Comes to the near corner. Kluke to Barta, and Barta got the shot off. Now trying to clear in his own end is Bryce Stevens. Can't get it out. Whacked ahead on the left wing wall by Sursley. Now back to the point again. A shot and a save by Kangas, and the rebound went just wide. Back out on top again. Barta tried to wind it up. This one was blocked. Trying to clear was Sursley. Sursley to center. Got it off on the left side. Big shot there. And a kick save as Torgerson let it go, and Dykes a little check to make sure he's still awake at the other end. And the Spuds will clear to center. Knocked back by Corey Johnson. Dumped deep into the zone by Nate Miller. And the Spuds will change on the go, and that'll give the... Well, didn't give him enough room to get out of the zone as the Matt Becker comes quickly in on the forecheck to knock it down. Can't get the puck away from Matt Becker of the Spuds. Finally, they move it up to the left wing side. Long pass misses Grimstead, and this will be icing.
You got to give some credit to Rochester Panthers defense too, because even though there's tremendous amount of play in their defensive zone, they are not allowing that second shot, and they're not allowing a lot of shots from the scoring area. They're keeping everybody to the outside. And as long as they're keeping it to the outside, Kangas is having a good opportunity to see the puck, and he's able to stop a lot of them, and that's been key for them.
6:20 to go in the second period. Moorhead has outshot Rochester Century 12-2 this period. Kept in at the right point by Foss. And along the wall, this is Fisher. Lost it. Sent ahead from Holland, trying to hit Wilcox, breaking. Knocked back into the Panther zone. Behind the goal, Frischman. Down to the left side. Holland couldn't get it. Kept in. Here's Brian Lee, top of the circle. He shoots. He shot it wide. Whistled a hard shot low, but missed. Fisher lost it down low. Van de Velde centers in front. Loose puck picked off, and out come the Panthers now the other way. Wilcox veers to the left and then dumps it in deep, and they'll change on the fly. Holland in trying to forecheck. It's cleared up to center. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone, and loose off for Foss. And a stoppage of play at the blue line, and 5:19 to go in the second. There's been just one goal in this one, and it was early, right off the bat. The Spuds up by 1.
I love being married to a younger man. I'm 41, and Greg's 40.
Oh, Terry looks awesome for 41. I like that.
We have 3 children.
2 daughters and a son. There is definitely no handbook on how to raise children.
I think it looks very good for a 40-year-old.
Thank you, sweetie. We have American Family Life Insurance.
Insurance is extremely important
because it provides our family with security.
My name is Terry Schmidt.
We are the Schmidt family.
American Family Insurance.
Sean, welcome to everybody. It's viewing the State High School Hockey Tournament from across the state on Channel 45.
Shots indicative of the play here for sure, Dan, this afternoon. 21-9 for Moorhead. They've had all the puck time, and they really haven't been able to score any goals. Part of it, Kangas, but another part of it, they're not getting into the scoring areas often enough.
There's a backhand steered just wide of the goal as That was Lofgren breaking in. There's another puck centered in front. Loose in the slot. Now it's steered away by Revlin. And he'll get it off on the right wing side and out of the zone. Fleming drives it in. Chasing it down is Revlin. Drops it back. Curry. Now comes loose. Grimstad. Grimstad with a shot. Whacks at the rebound. But Deitz is able to hold his ground and stay up and make the stop.
Undoubtedly the best opportunity for the Panthers this afternoon. Two good chances right there. Grimstad on the doorstep makes the first shot, gets the rebound, goes again, and that's the best chance that they've had. Watch him go to the net, and that's what he has to do right there. Fortunately for Deitz, that puck didn't come free because Grimstad was looking to hammer the rebound past him.
Surprising you watch that Deitz stays up.
Yep.
He doesn't go down.
No, he played that perfectly. Gave nothing to shoot at. Stayed up high and just controlled the rebound.
All right, a face-off coming up here in the Moorhead zone. Off the draw, the Spuds take control. Moss behind, knocked down. Ahead on the right wing wall. Now they'll chip it out to center ice. To the Century blue line. Shot wide there by Jordy Christian. Becker with it. Centers in front, and Christian had it in his skates, and he couldn't convert it up to his stick. And now the Panthers knock it ahead to center. Intercepted there by Lofgren. Comes back out to center to Becker. Brian Lee ahead to Christian. It's offsides at the blue line of the Century Panthers.
The only bad passing Moorhead's had this afternoon has been in front of the net.
Yeah.
When they try and just jam it into the front area 5 feet in front of the goaltender, they've never put a tape to tape. It's always been in somebody's skates or off to the side right here. See that?
Yep.
That's the only bad passing they've had, and that's when it's most crucial. Put it on the stake, on the tape there.
Trying to clear is Bryce Wilcox. Got it ahead to Andrew Wilcox, and now the Spuds turn it over and head back the other way. Van de Velde. Van de Velde, drop pass, quick shot, another save on the shot by Ammerman. Kangas kicked it out again with the right leg. Through the neutral zone to center. Ammerman hit there, carried on now by Fisher. Fisher with Van de Velde. Gets it way out on top for Loose. Loose drops it back to the point for Ammerman. Knocked away, and the Panthers will head back the other direction. Trying to break in was Wilcox, and he was ridden off. Now behind the goal, Revlin tried to center. Comes free to Fisher. Changes direction. It'll be held in the zone by Revlin. That was deflected and comes free to Drew Fisher. Fisher right wing side, ridden off the play. He crossed into the Century zone, pushed to the right wing side. Curry had it, knocked right back out, knocked down at the blue line. A drop pass intended there for Van de Velde. Still loose in the neutral zone. 2.5 remaining in the second period. Century player went down, puck underneath him. That'll draw a whistle. But again, we're back to that stretch where Century is just kind of letting things just happen.
That's right. And when you let things happen, the other team gets opportunities, and that's what Century does right here. They take the puck going down with some speed, and they go to the outside, drive into the net, and that's what they've done pretty well thus far. It was a good play, and Moorhead reacts, comes right back down here. Nate Miller coming in, and he's going to come down, drop it. Good 3-on-2 play. Goaltender sees it all the way, makes the save.
Fleming behind his own goal, ahead on the right wing side. They'll try to clear. It's knocked back down by Lee. Centered in front. Quick shot right on. Another big save by Alex Kangas. He gave up a goal in the first minute of play, and he's been outstanding since then. Brian Lee all the way across to the right side. Now he fires it. Traffic rebound right on goal, and Kangas has to make another save.
Oh, you're right. That was a rebound right in front, and I'll tell you, that was a good opportunity there. Lee kept that puck long enough to get over to the side, and when he does that, he sees Johnson there, and he gets a shot away. Here's an earlier blocker save right off the shot there. Good opportunity for Miller. Kangas making all kinds of saves, and now frustration could start setting in for Moorhead because they're getting quality chances the last half of this period. Nothing going in.
Brian Lee whips one wide of the goal, off the back wall, off the back of the net. There to pick it up is Kluke, and it's taken away by the Panthers, and they'll carry out to center ice. Wilcox Lost it as he went to the goal. Lee turns back, banks it off the wall up the right wing side. Ryan Kluge passes centered, intercepted by the Panthers. Now poked back to center, where it's picked off there, and from the neutral zone, nobody wants it. Now the Spuds will pick it up and carry across center. Dumped in on the left wing side by Brian Lee as he was upended. Tied up in the corner, spinning away with the puck. Andrew Wilcox got knocked down, tripped up, got it ahead to center to Holland. Holland goes all the way across the rink, then backhands it deep in the zone. Snap behind the goal.
That's a good play. When you're going to change, get the puck in deep and change when the puck's going in their zone, not your zone.
Christian across the line. Now Becker with it, moves in. Becker with a shot. He scores!
Boy, what a good play by Becker. He let everything set up in front of the net. He takes it from the left side, and he has patience. He waits. He cuts across the middle, so he gets a tremendous shooting angle. He's got the goalie moving left, puts it in the far side, and that's something that Moorhead needed because they're starting to get frustrated at 26 shots on net, finding the second goal. Here's the play. Becker's going to pick up the loose puck, go to the middle, see everything sets up. He waits, goes to the far side, and just puts it away. Real fine play, something that Moorhead probably feels a lot more relaxed about now after getting so many opportunities and couldn't beat Kangas.
Well, the goal came at 15:56, and it's scored by Becker, his 10th goal of the season. Assists will go to Barta and to Christian. Again at 15:56, and it's 2-0. Final minute of play here in the second. 2-0 Moorhead. A big goal late in the period. Back to the right point. Here's a shot from there, whistled wide of the goal by Frischman as the Panthers try to answer back here before the end of the period. Half a minute remaining in the period. Grimstead to the right point again. Frischman's shot went wide again. Grimstead has it again. Now from the left point, a shot hit someone. Now it's going to be cleared and all the way down the ice, and an icing call here against Moorhead with 19.9 seconds to go in the second period.
That was some great play by the Panthers. Twice, Grimstead gets the puck, goes in circles down deep, and the only man open was Frischman back in the point, and they made two good plays to get that puck back to the point for him to get shots on net. Smart heads-up play by Rochester. You can see why they score goals. They do two things well. They drive to the net every time they got the opportunity, and they look for the open man to get a shot on net.
Final seconds of period 2, and face-off in the Moorhead zone. Off the draw, back towards the point. Chopped to the wall. Now ran right into his own player. That was Holland, and now it's cleared out. Look out, here come the Spuds with time remaining. Left side, dropping the slot. A shot was wide of the goal. Great opportunity for Lofgren, and he missed the mark. Final couple of seconds here as it's tied up behind the goal, and that'll be it. And it's 2-0. An early goal in period 1, one in the final minute of period 2, but that's where the Spuds are at, and I'm sure they feel a little bit better about going to the locker room with that late goal.
And they'd have felt a lot better because Nate Miller made a sensational play getting that puck over to Lofgren, who just missed the net with 2 seconds to go, or it would have been 3-0. That's the heads-up play that Moorhead does extremely well. They pass the puck very well, tape to tape all over the ice, and they have made quality chances for themselves. Kangas being the only reason why they're not up more than 2-0. They have had complete control here thus far, Dan, and they look like a team that's been in the state championship before, and a team that could get to the finals one more time if they keep playing like that.
Well, they lead it 2-0 here after 2 periods of play. Let's go down to Coach Dave Morinville and Anthony LaPanta.
Well, thanks very much, Dan. And, Coach, you obviously are feeling a lot better right now than you were about 70 seconds ago when this had a feel very similar to the first quarterfinal game of the day.
It sure did. You know what, though? We did the same thing against Roseau when we were playing Roseau, and the score was 2-2. And at the end of the second period, we scored there with Bandy made a nice steal. And we could almost add a third one here if Kluge could have just fired it home, or else maybe held it on and went around the goalie. But, you know, we got to keep knocking away. This is a good goalie, and he's making some nice saves.
Do you buy into or believe the cliche that a 2-goal lead is difficult to hold?
Well, I'd rather have the 2-goal than be behind, I can tell you that. But, you know, we just got to keep pounding away and not try to score so much, but just making sure we're smart and keeping the play in front of us and gaining zones and just doing it smart, not trying to score another goal so much. It's just make sure we don't give them a great opportunity by turning it over.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Anthony.
Dave Morinville, he and the Spuds on top 2-0 after 2. Our second intermission show is coming up next as the hockey tourney continues on 45.
When you're looking for an electrician or an electrical contractor, look for the SmartWire emblem. SmartWire means you're hiring the best electrical contractors with an available workforce to handle any job with quality and safety. SmartWire electricians bring better training, more experience, and the know-how to take on your demands for high-tech wiring. For a higher standard, look for these SmartWire electricians and contractors. Think SmartWire, because it matters.
We make shopping easy. Now through Tuesday, 12-inch assorted Red Baron Classic Pizzas. 4 for $9.98 limit 4. And assorted Hershey's standard size candy bars. 7 for $1.98 limit 7. Every day, Hornbachers offers double value on manufacturer's coupons. We make shopping easy. Hornbachers. We make shopping easy. Hornbachers.
The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show returns to the Fargo Dome. Presented by the Lake Agassiz Kiwanis Club. March 3rd through 6th. See the all-new 2005 boats, dogs, RVs, campers, and more. Hundreds of resorts on hand so you can plan your next vacation right at the show. Daily seminars including special kids fishing clinics, plus great cats of the world, great American duck races, live trout pond, and more. The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show. March 3rd through 6th at the Fargo Dome.
And welcome back to our coverage of the Class 2A Boys High School Hockey Tournament. Moorhead has now taken a 2-0 lead over Rochester Century. And joining me now is the coach of the winning team in our first game this afternoon in Class 2A competition, Mike Randolph from Duluth East, the Greyhounds. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Thank you very much.
An exciting game. It was a game very much like this one, where one team was out-shooting the other team by a large margin, but the other team kept hanging around. In this case, it was your team. What did you tell the guys in the locker room before you came out for the third period?
Well, we were in a similar situation in our section final, and we just basically told our kids that you have to win one period to win a hockey game. And if we win this period, we're either going to go to overtime, hopefully finish it in a regulation. And we felt that we could play a lot better, and we just asked the kids to go out there and lay it on the line in the third, and let what happens, happens. And fortunately, we got it tied up and got it done in regulation.
No, I was joking earlier about Rob W. Johnson, your leading scorer, who missed a wide open net early in the game. We thought that might have a bearing on the outcome of the game, but he really redeemed himself later on when he set up the winning goal. Tell me about that.
Well, Rob W. Johnson's been our leader all year. He scored a huge tying goal in our section final to send it to overtime. And again, tonight he set up, like you said, the winning goal. And he missed that backdoor play, and I felt like you felt, you know, we could have jumped up on him pretty good there, but he's the kind of player that it doesn't affect him. He just keeps working, and he was rewarded tonight.
And I think we have a clip of the winning goal. Let's take a look at that. Maybe you can tell me about it when you see it here. Tell me what happened.
Well, I think this is a tying goal, the 2-on-1.
Tying goal, you're right.
Yep, and Schumacher, Chris Anderson gave him a great pass, and Schumacher put it upstairs, and that was a big momentum change for us.
And you guys had 2 goals in that upper right-hand corner. And here comes a save. We want to talk about your goaltender, Chris Saul.
Well, Chris Saul was unbelievable today. He's been unbelievable down the stretch here, and he's a very confident goaltender, and without Chris Saul, this game would have been over a lot sooner, but we hung around, and then the kids battled and got it done.
Yeah, he really kept you in the game till you could get those the final goals. Now, tell me just real quickly before we go, you've played Moorhead once this year. You lost to them pretty badly, 7-2. If they go on to advance, what do you feel about a matchup with them?
Well, we're going to look forward to a matchup with them, and they're an excellent hockey team. They're probably the best team that we've played all year. But right now, we're just really proud of our kids, what they did today, and we'll worry about Moorhead tomorrow.
All right, thanks. If they advance, of course, yes. Rochester Century would like to change that scenario. Right. Mike Randolph, coach of Duluth East Greyhounds, thanks for joining us. Our coverage of the boys' state high school hockey tournament will continue after this break.
Hey, I owe you $3. Love, Mom. I owe you $1. I owe you $3. Love.
Who wants cookies? What?
No matter matter what stage you're at in life, there's a Wells Fargo banker ready to listen and help. Get more than free checking. Get to your next stage.
There's a voice deep inside you saying yes, yes you can, and I know you hear it now. Yeah, yes you can. Yeah.
Here's to every player and coach on every team. Shields is right there with you.
There's more than one reason Cable One has more than 42,000 customers. Any time of the day or night, we'll work to make sure your picture is perfect. By maintaining over 600 miles of cable and fiber optic lines, we ensure you're getting the latest in technology and the highest quality picture. This is our commitment to you. There's more than one reason. Cable One, keeping you connected, because it's our cable too.
Some people just love living on the edge. Now we're going to show you what happens when they step over the line. The show is maximum exposure, where you'll see a bunch of crazies we call the extreme sports psychos. Wow, these people are nuts. Forget about the thrill of victory. It's all about the agony of defeat that you're seeing here. Extreme sports psychos on maximum exposure. These dudes are nuts.
And some of the excited fans here at the St. Paul XL Energy Center. Moorhead leading Rochester Century 2-0 in the Class 2A boys quarterfinals. And let's take a look now at the Mr. Hockey candidates as determined by Let's Play Hockey. Let's take a look at this list. We got a couple of these players playing today. Mike, go ahead.
Well, I think right away you look at Vandevelde and Brian Lee from Moorhead, two very good candidates for Mr. Hockey. I mean, they're both very, very accomplished players. Lee probably has the bigger name with everybody in the state, but Mr. Vandevelde can play the game pretty well himself.
And Phil, we're going to see 6 of these 10 players in the state tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see. I haven't seen any of these kids except for Brian Lee and Vandevelde, but it's going to be interesting to see what Conley and both the gentlemen from the Holy Angels, what they have to bring to the table.
I've seen Jared Hummel play for Holy Angels a few times this year. He's a very stout defenseman. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these gentlemen ends up Mr. Hockey.
It will be. I think this may be one of the strongest fields in a number of years for Mr. Hockey. And one thing, when you look at this list, we have a number of defensemen which you usually don't have on this list. And all of those kids that are there for defense can score.
Now, Phil, it's interesting. Brian Lee, of course, might be ranked #1 in the scouting arena, but more goes into Mr. Hockey than just how you might fare in the NHL someday.
Oh, I think how a person you are, how you play on your team, what kind of a leader you are, but it's just like Mike said, there's a lot of D there, and that's great for Minnesota hockey players to come up as defensemen and be able to jump right into Division I if they can.
All right, we're going to see some of these players again playing tonight. Let's take a look at our schedule for tonight's games. Jefferson versus Holy Angels at 7 o'clock tonight. That will be followed 30 minutes after the conclusion of that game by Elk River and Tartan, and then tomorrow, beginning at noon, St. Thomas Academy versus War Road, and that will be followed by Totino Grace versus Duluth Marshall. Those are semifinal games. We are just minutes away from the third period of this game. We will be back in just a moment with our coverage of the boys high school hockey tournament.
This is a bundle. This is also a bundle. Idea One Telecom wants to save you a bundle. We bundled our services, such as residential and business telephone service, added telephone features, long distance, voicemail, unlimited dial-up internet, and DSL. All in order to make service more effective and affordable for you. Basic phone service starts at just $18.95 per month. So if you want to save one of these, choose Idea One Telecom. The idea is good service.
Ready to remodel. Whether you change one window or a whole room, Marvin Windows and Doors capture every detail you want, and nothing else.
To find out more about Marvin Windows and Doors, call 800-397-6647. Marvin Windows and Doors, made for you.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications, Get Hooked, and Home Furniture. There's no place like home. And by A1 Automotive. Your satisfaction is our success. Don't miss all the action right here on KCPM, your Central Plains media station.
Thank you for watching KCPM Channel 27, Grand Forks.
Can only afford one MP3 player, apparently. Moorhead leading Rochester Century 2-0, and you can see some very happy fans here at the XL Energy Center. It's a very exciting game, our second exciting game today. And it's interesting, it's 2-0. This game is very much like the first game where one team is out-shooting the other one by a wide margin. What is Rochester Century doing to keep Moorhead out of the goal?
Well, in their own zone, they're playing great defense. They're clogging up the middle, keeping the puck to the outside. They're not allowing any rebounds. Mr. Kangas is playing very, very well in net. That's been the one goal we'll see. Becker got loose, and he was the only kid to get loose that period.
But, Phil, we need to point out that Moorhead only gave up 38 goals all season. They scored 169, so they are clearly well out front, and it's going to be hard to overcome it.
Yeah, that's a credit to their defense when they get the pass to make that first crisp pass out of the zone to their wingers, and they're on their way.
Yeah, it's we've got highlights now. Let's go to the first one. Brian Lee, the guy we've been talking about all day.
Brian Lee comes down off the wing. He just throws the puck in front of the net, uses the goaltender's pad as a springboard to put the puck in.
That's where determination meets luck, I think. And Phil, what about this goal?
Well, Matt Becker, he gets to pick up a puck at the blue line from a great job by Jordan Christian. He just gets the puck, fakes the shot, has great poise, and just buries it.
And we need to point out Matt Becker is the grandson of Willard Eichela, the longtime Edina coach. Right. Let's take a look now at the statistics here. And again, it looks just like in the last game, like one team should be dominating the scoreboard, but they're not, Mike.
That's true. Shots are in favor, and neither team is converted on the power play.
All right, let's throw it now upstairs to Dan Terhar and Lou Nanny with the call of the third period. Guys?
All right, thank you, Tom. We're underway, period number 3. And again, yeah, close game. Here's a shot right off the bat to get things going as Van de Velde came in on the right side but didn't get through. The Century Panthers in the gray or silver sweaters with the blue trim, and in the black it's the Spuds from Moorhead. They have the puck right now. Trying to turn in on goal was Van de Velde. Got it back, centered it through the front of the goal, knocked to the right. 2-0, Moorhead with the lead. The Century team got behind early in the first period, but stayed very patient, kept to their game plan, and are keeping this game close thanks to Alex Kangas, the senior goaltender. Van de Velde tied up along the wall, still keeps it in. Now finally chopped free by Darren Holland. And Holland lost it, and they change on the fly. Fisher. Drop pass down low, loose, in front, bouncing around, and it's picked up and controlled now behind the goal by Hickey. They have had their chances, Louis. This could be a much different game.
They really could, and they're really continuing to control the puck and control the opportunities. They just can't put it away.
There's Kluke. Kluke on the backhand, turns, drops it all the way back to the point. Quick shot wide of the goal by Ammerman. Corey loose, pushes it low for Johnson. Johnson getting some help there from Becker. And now the Panthers will come out the other way, ahead to center. Push quickly onto the left wing side. Zanipke lost it. Goes to the left corner. And up with the puck is Barta for the Spuds. Barta will carry out of his own zone, gains the center red line. He'll fire it up. He was just a little too lackadaisical in their offsides at the blue line of Century. And this is the afternoon session of today's 2 sessions. Today's attendance, 18,384 combined between the 2 games.
And a lot of people seeing some good hockey in both games this afternoon. We had White Bear Lake defeated by Duluth East after putting on a terrific display of puck movement and chances, but Duluth East beat them, and now we got Moorhead, another great hockey club, throwing the puck around like you'd like to see them do it, but they haven't been able to capitalize nearly as much as you would think.
No, the Panthers have kept it close with saves like that. A blocker stopped by Kangas.
You kind of get the feeling that if they ever score 1 or 2 quick ones, they can fill the net.
They've been trying. Up the right wing side, Stevens at the blue line. Whistled down offsides.
Very experienced hockey team. They've been here before. They've got a lot of good seniors, and they got some tremendous talent led by Lee and Vandevelde. Vandevelde, you would think just the way he's controlled the puck in the offensive zone all afternoon, that by now he'd have about 4 points. He's really, really effective with that puck. He's got great size. He knows how to move it, and he knows how to use his size to fend off checkers.
Come the Spuds now back to center ice. Vandevelde used his size, walks in, shot, save, and it's covered up by Kangas. Boy, he just storms the net, and Kangas just doesn't flinch.
He's a big-time player. He's really, really a talent.
He almost looks bigger than 6'1".
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Well, look how Wyatt uses his size, and he cuts in, and that was a terrific shot. He's trying to go upstairs. That's the only place he can go from that angle. He didn't quite get it high enough. Got it up around the shoulder, but goal scorers know where to put it. He tried to get it right in the upper corner, just too sharp an angle to get it there.
Frischman can't clear. Now from the point, a shot that was tipped wide. Another dangerous play right in front of Kangas. Now behind the goal. Frischman trying to clear. It's poked out to center ice. Dibble dumped it right back into the Panthers' end of the rink. Alex Kangas, the senior netminder, leaves it behind there. Cleared rink wide to center to Andrew Wilcox. He got spun around off the play. Holland picks it up. Lost it. Wilcox trying to get it back. Bounces around. Now finally dumped in by Wilcox. They'll tag up and get on sides. Actually, they'll head to the bench for a line change. That'll give the Spuds some room to move. Ammerman all the way. Fires a shot and a glove save. Splitting to the left by Alex Kangas. He's still in the game. 2-0. Moorhead leading Rochester Century.
When it's just you between the puck and the net, you've got to be your best. Stauber's Goal Crease, the ultimate goalie training center, can get you there. Founder Rob Stauber brings his 10 years of NHL experience and innovative training methods to aspiring goalies with a state-of-the-art training facility and pro shop, and year-round programs including summer camps. The one-to-one goalie training uses groundbreaking training tools that make Stauber's Goal Crease the finest training center anywhere. Call now or visit goalcrease.com. Stauber's Goal Crease, training Minnesota goalies to be their best.
And this third period being brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Moorhead 2, Rochester Century nothing. As the Panthers trying to create some offense, being outshot 31-12 at this point in the game. Right wing side, they'll break it out. Kluke centers it for Johnson. Back to Kluke. Back into the slot off a skate. Turned around the other direction. As it went right off the deflection back the other way. It's pushed deep into the Moorhead zone. Ammerman. Headman's a pass at center to Becker. Becker right wing side. Kluke. Becker shot it wide. Brian Lee pokes it ahead from the left point. Panthers clear to center. Brian Lee had the first goal of the game for the Spuds. Loose, lost it down low. There's Lee stepping up into the offense, but it's knocked away, and this one will ring all the way down and not going to make it far enough for icing.
That's where Loose should have just shot the puck right in the net. He had a good angle. He had control of the puck. Don't get too pretty. You're only leading by 2. You want to get another one. Put the pucks on the net.
Lee drops it off for Lofgren. Missed the mark. Dibble pushes it down low. The Panthers will bank it off the wall. Bouncing puck just came out, back in. It's offsides. Offsides time to check out our save of the game. It's going to come from, yeah, you can guess, Alex Kangas with our Rob Stauber Goal Crease save of the game.
Good shot by Ammerman right there, and right on the doorstep. Loose just wasn't able to put that rebound play. Kangas right there as he got that skate out the last second, took a goal away from Corey Loose.
Andrew Wilcox fires a shot, and a pad save made at the other end by Spencer Deitz. And back come the Spuds. They'll break it out of their own zone. Across the blue line and upended head over heels with John Ammerman with a hip check.
That was a heck of a check. Really, really well timed.
From center ice, it's dumped in by Holland.
Stevens, the defenseman, got Hammerman down low and flipped him right over his back.
Back in the Moorhead zone. Both teams changing on the fly here. Still over 11 minutes remaining in the game, and Century just trying to get on the board. See if they can build some momentum here, down 2-0. Brian Lee shoots, save, glove save, hung on to by Alex Kangas.
Moorhead is really impressive bringing that puck out of the zone. We're going to catch that check by Stevens again on Hammerman. Look at, you use your hip and you get him underneath and you flip him up. They used to have a guy started that years ago. His name was Harry Taylor back in the American League about 1950. They used to call him Harry Bucket Check Taylor. And he'd have been proud of that one there.
That's what we're going to see it probably again and again before this tournament's over. Get a guy airborne like that.
Oh, I remember one night somebody got me like that in Detroit, and I was up in the air and I was wondering, am I ever going to come down?
Now, is a bucket check different than a hip check?
Yeah, it's really a hip check, but they used to call it a bucket check.
Here's Johnson for the Spuds. Johnson down low, slides it in front. Saw it, just shot it wide. Saw the goaltender Kangas look behind him. He wasn't sure where it was. Bryce Wilcox trying to clear the zone. The Spuds just jamming it up along the wall. And we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play.
Hand pass, and they'll bring the puck outside. But Moorhead continued to control the puck. But as I was saying earlier, what's really impressive is how smoothly they're coming out of their zone. Their passing has been just perfect in the defensive zone. I can't remember seeing many games where teams have come out better and more effectively than Moorhead's done this afternoon.
But they haven't finished well.
No. When they get in the offensive zone, I said the only passes they miss is the ones passing in the scoring area when they're trying to force them in there. But coming up ice, they're just picture perfect. I think they're trying to get, you know, they almost want to be unselfish. They don't think enough about burying the puck. Goal scorers always bury the puck.
Puck tipped around the point, but held in there by Ammerman. Ammerman got it to Christian. Christian on a backhand with a shot, save, rebound, bounces around in front. Kangas is down, and now he's back up, and the puck goes behind the goal. Right point, Becker. Becker will move to the middle. On his backhand, poke checked away, but it's held in the zone. There's a shot that hit escape, and now it's cleared the length of the ice by Nick Revlin. And right now, Century reeling a bit, trying to stay in this game.
Well, shots on goal, 33-13 for Moorhead, so you know that Kangas has been in the game all night long here. He's the one consistent factor for the Panthers. He has come up with excellent saves. He's been under pressure from the get-go, and he's been the reason why it's only 2-0 for Moorhead.
Brian Lee with a quick shot, stick save, steered up into the netting by Kangas.
Just there, you know, there's a good indication. See how quickly they move the puck stick to stick, and it's right on the sticks. You know, Lee's playing the left side. He's a right-hand shot. As you look at Kangas, this man has been on the fire here all afternoon. And you got to put that puck right in the tape if you're going to shoot it on the fly, and Moorhead does that. They really pass the puck well.
Brian Lee fanned on it, and it's poked away. Trying to bust free was Travis Peterson, but it was knocked away behind the goal. It's left there by Kangas. Holland along the wall out to center to Peterson. Tried to whip it rink wide where he had a defender breaking. Now Holland steps up into the play. Right wing side, Holland with a shot. Blocker save made there by Deitz. That shot goes wide. Kept in at the right point with a blast. It went up off the glove of Deitz and into the netting. Now a little flurry there by the Panthers trying to find a way to get in this game.
Well, the one thing they're going to have to do is start skating a little more. They're standing around and just observing the passing of Moorhead, and they've got to get to the puck carrier, and they've got to eliminate him. It's not good just to go to a man and have him pass the puck by you and forget him. Once you go to him, you have to eliminate him. Take him right out for 3 seconds and make sure he doesn't get back in the play. When you start eliminating people on the ice, you start giving yourself opportunities to get going. We're going to have a penalty here for tripping.
It's been quiet. Only been 2 penalties in the game, 1 in each period so far.
And here's what Rochester needs, an opportunity to get some shots on goal. As we see Luce going off for tripping, Rochester on the power play, and they do have goal scorers. So goal scorers getting a chance here, 5 and 4, can bring this game back to 2-1. You'll see right off the face-off there, he's taken down. Luce had the face-off, ties him up, and pulled him down actually, and that was enough to put Rochester in the power play.
Flukie shorthanded, gets it off for Johnson. Johnson with a shot, high and wide, missed it. Flukie behind, hits the wall hard, and now with the power play, here come the Panthers back. They're second in the game. They're 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Across the line, Grimstad stops at the half wall, out to the point, shot from there, loose in front. Grimstad tried to knock it down, and he couldn't get the shot off on goal, and it's going to be cleared the length of the ice.
And the defenseman's got to go in and pinch. When you're down 2-0, you're on the power play, you have to pinch. You got to keep the puck in there. Moorhead will stay back to center ice here and let them come up ice, but Moorhead will take an opportunity to go down and try and score if they get control of the puck.
Bryce Wilcox will drive it into the Moorhead zone. Deep first after the puck is Peterson. Peterson lost it. Cleared the length of the ice again by the Spuds. And the Century power play fires it up again to center ice. Trying to dump it in deep. Knocked back out to the line and out to center by Matt Becker for the Spuds. Now turning in his own blue line is Darren Holland. Holland to center, taken away again by Foss. Dumped into the zone by Vandevelde. He'll come in shorthanded now on the backhand. He was cut off. Centers, high slot, bouncing puck knocked away. And it's cleared away to center ice, but controlled in the neutral zone by the Spuds. Now turned over right outside the blue line. Centered in front to Peterson. Peterson looking, knocked off his skates, pushed down low. Curry, left side, one-time blast. It changed directions right in front on a good shot by Holland. Wilcox lost it. Foss headmans to center. Christian, penalty time has expired. Moorhead's at full strength. Nice pass, and another big save by Kangas on a great pass to Corey Luce, who tried to top shelf it. Back to the point, Barta. Shot never got through. That shot is wide of the goal. Now behind Christian. Centers again. Knocked to the near wall. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 6 minutes and a few seconds left to go in the game, and Century's got to find some way to put a puck in the net. See if they can make something out of this final 6-13. Moorhead on top, 2-0 over Rochester Century. Boys State High School Hockey Tournament action on 45.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Cable One. Watch us make you smile. And SmartWire Electrical Contractors. When better training, experience, and availability matter, think SmartWire. And by Shields. Right there with you. Don't miss all the tournament action right here on KCPM.
Is their assistant working hard or hardly working?
If I'm doing your work and you're doing my work, what's Derek doing?
UPN Super Monday at 9:30, 8:30 Central.
Game summary. There's the score, Louis. It's been interesting.
The score is not indicative of the play. You see Becker and Lee getting goals. Knights had 14 saves. No really great opportunities. Maybe one by Rochester. Whereas Kangas with 33 saves has been outstanding. It's been all Moorhead this game, and there's Brian Lee and Becker, the 2 goal scorers, and right off the draw we almost get another one.
Alex Kangas just solid, continues. He's going to end up making probably over 40 stops in this one.
Well, he's really had a lot of opportunities here today to make saves, and he's made them all. That's the most important thing.
Face off to his left off the draw. Vandervolde, that got through, steered aside by Kangas. Cleared through the neutral zone. Barta rotates it for Ammerman. Back to Barta in his own end. Ahead at center, where it's left there by Fisher. Vandevelde cuts to the middle. Now Fisher has it. A shot and another save by Kangas. In the corner, picked up by Ammerman. Left there now to the right point. Shot is blocked as Barta let it go. Poked around down low in front of the goal, and then Kangas reaches out and pulls it in and covers it up with 5:35 remaining in the game. 2-0. Moorhead with the lead.
From the fastest and strongest to the most capable and most powerful, Dodge Ram trucks. Matched by none, envied by all.
Come on, man, blow it!
One of the outstanding players here today, Brian Lee. Watch another great effort by him. Going to the outside. He knows how to move with the puck, and he's real good going to the outside. Here he gets his first goal of the game, 29 seconds in. And so far, that's all that they needed, even though they're leading 2-0 with 5:35 to go here in the third period.
That's our wild play of the game. It might be enough. You never know. Century can't find a way to get one past Dietz at the other end. They've only had 14 shots to this point, and Dietz has handled them all. But boy, they played well in front of Dietz. Long rink-wide pass to the left wing side. Now trying to whip it down low. They'll work it back out to the point. Foss shot, hit a bunch of traffic in front, and the Panthers cleared out to center. Little collision. That knee to the head stuff is a little scary.
Yeah. Even with a helmet on.
Yes.
You can feel it in your bell a little bit.
Foss again. Bryce Wilcox pushes it on the right side. And now fired in from the neutral zone by Zach Hickey. Well, the question is, Lou, can the Panthers mount any kind of a threat here in the final 4.5 minutes? Can they make this a close game?
I'd really doubt it.
There hasn't been much. Quick shot at the near side of the goal.
The reason why, Dan, if you just look at the way Moorhead continues to be aggressive checking. They're not laying back. They're supporting one another so well that you don't have any odd man rushes. You don't have anybody going to the scoring area and getting shots for Rochester. And that's one thing that Moorhead's been consistent with all afternoon.
Out of the corner was Kraus. Pushed back down low in the zone. Wilcox. Right point. And it's knocked back out to neutral ice. Barta battling for it there. Dumps it back into the zone. Torgerson sends it to the opposite end. Peterson behind the goal. Lost it right in front. It'll be chopped away to the near side. Now behind the goal, trying to come out to the point with it. It's Johnson. Dumps it back down low. The goaltender Kangas knocks it away. And Century up with it again. They'll clear the zone. Wilcox diving forward in the neutral zone, but Brian Lee comes away with it. He'll cross the blue line left. Centers, nice saucer pass, shot, glove save, hung on to by Kangas.
Another save for Kangas. Another nice play by Brian Lee. Good shot by Miller. And Kangas makes the save. You just noticed that Rochester all afternoon has not been able to come out of the zone. As you see Lee breaking in and putting a nice little backhand saucer pass on the stick of Miller. But the reason why Rochester hasn't been able to come out, it's been tremendous forecheck by Moorhead Spuds. They are very quick getting to the puck, and they're eliminating people when they get there. And Rochester is coming out maybe one man at a time. Had no real attack coming up through the neutral zone into the offensive area at all.
Just 3 minutes now remaining in the third period. This building is quiet. Held in at the point by Lee. Here Lee's got one already. Drives to the net, and it's turned aside by Kangas, and then he closes his legs on it.
Tried the same play.
Covers up. He did. He tried just to sneak down low and jam something home.
He said it worked in the first minute of play. Why won't it work now? As he cuts to the net, comes from the outside, cuts into his backhand, and try to just dish it right back into the middle of the net. But that time he wasn't able to get a shot on net as he was eliminated by Fleming.
Puck deep in the Century zone. Shots this period, Moorhead 13, Rochester Century 2. And that's why there's a shot going wide. That's why your lopsided total right now is 40-14 in favor of Moorhead.
Well, Coach Morinville has done an outstanding job with this hockey club. We watched them last year in the tournament. We see them here today, and one thing has been the same in both games that we've seen them in both tournaments. They play very good position. They move the puck sharply, crisply, and on the stick, and they support one another. And you're looking at the coach, Dave Morinville, right there. He feels pretty confident he's going to be advancing to play tomorrow against the Duluth Eats hockey team that they defeated handily earlier in the year. But one game always matter. You never know what's going to happen, and so it should be an interesting game tomorrow. Or should they be able to finish off Rochester here in the next 2 minutes and 11 seconds?
Kangas covers up. They must feel pretty good about the score because I believe that's the Moorhead student section. They're going. They've had enough. They said it's over. They're all leaving, not just some of them. They're going to go rest up for apparently what they expect to be a semifinal game Friday night, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against Duluth East.
I think they want to get the best seat in the restaurant.
They'll get any seat in the restaurant. Yeah. Gets that way downtown during tournament time. This is Fisher. Dumps it in front, loose in the slot. Fisher shot. Kangas. He's not done turning the pucks away, Louis.
What a great save there on Fisher. What a great save.
Boy, Kangas just doesn't quit. He has been something. I think we have seen yesterday in the single A, and then some of these performances today, losing goaltenders play spectacularly to even have a chance for their team to be in the game.
Yep.
Centering attempt, knocked back behind. Van de Velde trying to come out of the corner, down to a minute 20 to go. Van de Velde backhand, slides it across, shot, another save by Alex Kangas. They're just trying to set up some kind of a finishing play, and it's just not happening.
I think Rochester's wondering if they got some extra men on the ice right now, the way they're moving that puck around. Real good puck control there. That line, Van de Velde is terrific, but there's some good play by Miller there on the side, getting the shot over on the other side. Fisher. They look sharp. They look sharp. At least this period and the last part of the second period, they've had opportunities from the scoring area. Kangas has been terrific because this is much different than the shot they had in the first period and a half. We got the timeout for Rochester Century. Maybe they're going to put somebody else in here.
But yeah, with a minute 15 to go, you're down by 2, and you know, if you a lot of times in the game, you're putting on pressure, you're getting chances. You might say, well, let's get the goalie off and make something happen, but they haven't created any offense.
Well, what he's going to do right now, he's going to say, as soon as that puck comes down, if we get it out of the zone, he wants Kangas to come to the bench, and he's going to put another guy on. There's no use protecting a loss. You're down 2-0. You got to go for something, and you don't have much time, especially against a team where not only have you not scored, you haven't had too many goal-scoring opportunities. So it doesn't matter what you lose by. If you lose, you lose. So you got to try and win, and that's what Coach Rudiger is going to try and do now. You know, he's had some guys give a good effort out there. Grimstead has had a real fine game. He's been a factor every time he's been out there. The defense from Rochester has been under pressure all night long. What they haven't been able to do is beat many people or get the puck out crisply, and that just plays right into Moorhead's hands, because once they get control in the offensive zone, they throw it around until they get a shot. And they've had 43 of them this afternoon.
Now that means 41 saves for Alex Kangas. He's had his work cut out for him. Face-off will be in the Century zone. Corey Luce on the face-off, pulled back behind the goal. They will try to work it out of the zone, but no, look at the Moorhead Spuds take right over, dump it back deep, no, knocked down by Escape. Now into the high slot. Johnson with a shot. He scores! Oh, that time he got Kangas down and he roofed it.
And that's right, Dan. That's what Johnson really was patient there. If you look, he'll take a look to his left. He sees the man's covered. So what does he do? He waits till the goaltender goes down first, then right upstairs. Kangas just had to try something. He was going to cover down low. Watch this move by Johnson. He looks left right there. Now he looks and he's going to put it upstairs in the upper corner. A fine goal by Johnson. Nothing Kangas could do, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that'll do it. 3-0 with a minute 3 remaining. And, you know, a great effort by Rochester Century. They came here to play hockey. They were not going to get blown out here today, and they made sure of that.
Well, for the first period and a half, they kept everything on the outside. But after that, the talent of Moorhead started to show, and you got opportunities that Kangas had to be real good to keep the score at 3-0. And Moorhead, you know, is tournament tested, and not only tested, they could have easily been the champion last year. It was a tremendous game with an outstanding Centennial hockey team that they lost to. 1-0, and you know, Fleury at the end of the game, they almost scored last year. So this is a team that's very dangerous at all times, and Rochester's got nothing to be ashamed of. They played it probably coming in the #1 team rated to win a state tournament. Moorhead was up there #1 a lot of the year, They fluctuated back and forth, but if you were to say who's going to win coming in, they were going to be one of the favorites, along with Holy Angels and Jefferson.
All right, there's your Dodge player of the game, Brian Lee. He gets what will turn out to be the game winner less than a minute into the game. That was a long time ago.
Well, you could have had him, you could have had Kangas, and you could have had Vandevelde. We had a lot of great play by a number of players, but Lee, every time he's out there, he just looks like he's in complete control.
Final seconds of this one, and Moorhead going to close this one out and go on to play Duluth East tomorrow night at 7 in the semifinals. Puck dumped into the Moorhead zone. Comes loose there to Lofgren. Got it ahead now to Becker. The countdown is on at the horn. A shot, and give Kangas one more save before he's done for the night.
That's right. And another great play by a fellow who's had a terrific afternoon. Becker, Matt Becker, got one goal, but he was really very, very good offensively all day for Moorhead. Moorhead, a complete, tremendous overall team effort. Very solid, looked sharp throughout. Kangas being congratulated by his teammates for a Herculean effort, 45 shots on net. And Moorhead right now has got to be feeling real good about their hockey game. They looked hungrier after the first half of the game. They played with more passion, and they certainly were only thwarted by the outstanding goaltending of Kangas.
So the Moorhead Spuds move on. They now will face Duluth East in the winners bracket semifinals, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The other two semifinal spots will be filled tonight. Jefferson, Holy Angels, then Elk River and Tartan, shaping up for some good semifinal games in A and AA on Friday. The teams shake hands down on the ice, congratulate each other, and you hope the Spuds, Louis, are heartfelt with that handshake, because Century did what they could to make it difficult for Moorhead.
You're exactly right. They played him the way they had to play him.
Yes.
Keep it close for as long as we can. We got scoring ability. If we ever get chances, we can make a game of it. Kangas certainly did his part as we looked at him keeping his game close, and Moorhead just in complete control throughout. Just eventually just wore down not only the Panthers but Kangas, and they were able to come out with a 3-0 win here after out shooting the Panthers 45-14. And believe me, the shots and goal were completely indicative of how the game was played.
It really was. They'll empty out the XL Energy Center here now. The afternoon session comes to an end, and load it back up again tonight as you see the Century Panthers heading to their locker room. Little down, and that's the way it is. It's tough to lose that first game of the state tournament and battle your way back.
It's nice to get here, though. It's going to be a thrill that these fellas will never forget.
Nice to see the two goaltenders chatting, Deitz and Alex Kangas. Let's go down now to our player of the game, who's with Anthony LaPanta. Take it away, Anthony.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. With Brian Lee, our Dodge player of the game tonight. Brian, congratulations on the win here today. You really set the tone with that great rush early in the game.
Yeah, we were talking about getting out to an early lead right away. In the section final, we got down too early, and we wanted to come out with a better start, so I just went on that hard and got lucky.
The way this game was going looked remarkably like the first quarterfinal today, as it stayed at 1-0 for a long time. Was it starting to get frustrating knowing that their goaltender was playing well enough to keep them in the game?
Yeah, we were getting a little frustrated, obviously. Our guys were coming back to the benches hanging their heads, but the coach told us just to hang with it, and it worked out for us.
Now you head into the Final Four. I know there's been a lot of talk about the decisions made by you and several of your teammates to stay here with Moorhead, not go to the National Development Team, not go to the U.S. Hockey League. This is obviously what you had in mind.
Yeah, that's why we all stayed around, try to win one more.
Best of luck Friday night.
Thanks a lot.
Brian Lee, he and the Spuds are in the Final Four Friday night against the Greyhounds. Stay with us. The Boys State High School Hockey Tournament continues on 45.
We make shopping easy. Now through Tuesday, 12-inch assorted Red Baron Classic Pizzas. 4 for $9.98 limit 4. And assorted Hershey's standard size candy bars. 7 for $1.98 limit 7. Every day, Hornbachers offers double value on manufacturer's coupons. We make shopping easy. Hornbachers. We make shopping easy. Hornbachers.
It's tournament time. The 2005 Minnesota State High School Tournaments are brought to you by Cable One. Watch us make you smile. And SmartWire Electrical Contractors. When better training, experience, and availability matter, think SmartWire. And by Shields. Right there with you. Don't miss all the tournament action right here on KCPM.
The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show returns to the Fargo Dome. Presented by the Lake Agency Kiwanis Club. March 3rd through 6th. See the all-new 2005 boats, dogs, RVs, campers, and more. Hundreds of resorts on hand so you can plan your next vacation right at the show. Daily seminars including special kids fishing clinics, plus great cats of the world, great American duck races, live trout pond, and more. The 40th annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show. March 3rd through 6th. At the Fargo Dome.
Everything you value in a tractor is now available in a utility vehicle. Introducing the all-new Kubota RTV, the utility vehicle engineered like a tractor. With its hydrostatic transmission, power steering, wet disc brakes, and four-wheel drive, you've never had so much fun working so hard. The all-new Kubota RTV. It's the utility vehicle that's all Kubota.
Kubota tractors, available at Acme Electric Tool Crib of the North.
Will Brianna lose Arnaz to sultry singer Cherie?
No, you're...
With special guest Nina Sky. One-on-one, UPN Super Monday, 8/7 Central.
Great clips, great haircuts every time, everywhere. And welcome back to our post-game show. We've had two exciting games today, both tightly fought contests. Let's start by talking about the game we just saw. You know, you got to talk about the goaltending. Hats off to Spencer Dietz for getting the shutout for Moorhead, but Alex Kangas, 45 shots, Phil.
Yeah, Alex Kangas was the story for Rochester. He shut down Moorhead for pretty much all three periods, except for the 3 goals that he let in. But, you know, at times Rochester was just a victory to get out of their end. You know, Moorhead controlled the game. They deserved to win that game, but I think they're going to have a killer instinct their next game. They want to go further in the state tournament.
Now, earlier today we saw Duluth East beat White Bear Lake 3-2. White Bear Lake not able to reverse the curse. It continues 17 years without getting out of the quarterfinals, Mike.
It's hard to believe that you really saw what you saw here this afternoon, Tom. I mean, for 2/3 of that game, it was all White Bear Lake. Duluth East gets 1 goal, and then it was all Duluth East for the last period. They come on to win 3-2. And I mean, it was just, you can't explain it. You don't know why that happened to White Bear Lake.
But what we do know is we had 2 exciting games today. We're looking forward to 2 exciting games tonight. And when we come back, we are going to preview tonight's games in the Class 2A competition in the boys high school hockey tournament.
Channel 45 congratulates this year's Minnesota State High School League Excel Award winners. Genevieve Moe is lettered in volleyball, softball, and dance team. She also participates in band, choir, and volunteer.